Let's double check. There we go. All right, guys, welcome to a Galaxy of Film Live. Of course, I'm your host, Max. Had a little bit of a hiccup, had a little bit of a late spell for this episode, but it's all good. Only the best here at Galaxy of Film. Stepping in for this little episode for co-hosts, which we haven't had two co-hosts in quite some time. But we got Dakari coming up. How you doing, bro?
I am doing fine. No major complaints. Living life, making money. How about yourself?
You know how it is. We know how it is. We'll get to my story in a second. Well, I'll explain to everyone why the hell we're late as fuck. But
Great.
You're getting that bread. You're getting your money up. I'm here for it. Got some stuff in the works. Always love to hear it. Always the best here at Galaxy of Film, brother.
X accepts tips on Patreon.
Oh, no, soon we will. Wow. Very soon. That's the next meeting, actually. But also here in the co-host role this week is our man Will from Mayhem Pictures. How are you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up? I'm doing good. Just out here watching movies, making movies, talking about movies. So I'm living it up. It's good.
That's the American dream.
That's good.
I love it, man. Love it. Glad to get you back on here, bro. It's you and Dakari actually hosted together Planet of the Apes a few weeks ago. So
We did.
Yeah,
We did.
you should listen to that. Yeah, that was a really great episode. We
Yeah,
had a good
check that
time
out.
talking.
Check that out.
fucking love it, dude. I've only seen the original Planet of the Apes still. I gotta watch the rest of them. I know I'm slacking.
Yeah.
Only 68, but we'll get to the Matt
Make
Reeves
sure you
trilogy
get the
one
Blu-ray
day.
set. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I've seen the Blu-ray, so it does look pretty crisp, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But joining us for our guest stars this week, we got a nice little lineup for this Galaxy of Film Live episode. First up, we got our man Curtis. How are you doing, brother?
Dude, I'm having a great week. How are you doing, brother?
Whew, we're gonna get to that, pal. We're gonna get to that.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
We're gonna get to that. But continue on. Tell us about your week, Curtis. Tell us what's going on.
No, it's been good. I finally took my first vacation in about 5 years. We had a family get together down in Texas. I got back late yesterday.
Okay.
So no, it was good seeing family. It was a long ass road trip because we drove. And I came back. I was in a good mood. I got away from work for about a week, and but so super happy about that. But no, dude, I'm living life. I'm doing good.
Very nice. Where was your vacation at, man?
It is a very small town in Texas called Lakey. Population's about 300 people.
Reiki.
It is almost.
Lakey.
We had a family
Right by
reunion.
Real County. Jesus.
Yeah, that's where my dad grew up. Was that town? So we had a family reunion there.
If you're ever near Mount Vernon, let's have you stop by our lake house.
We drove by the exit to Mount Vernon because we drove from Michigan down that way, and we saw the exits.
You know what's funny, dude? Speaking of Michigan and vacation, Brandon's going on vacation next week to Charlotte, which is so weird to me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I just realized, man, I got the fucking messiest background here for an episode. I didn't have a chance to move this. I got the Kung Fu Panda 4 display broken down behind me.
Let's go.
Yeah, I stole from the theater. I'll show that in a second. But, yeah, good to get you back on, Curtis. It's always a pleasure.
Sure.
I know we were talking some Bad Batch a few weeks ago, and tomorrow the Acolyte drops, so we got even more Star Wars coming up soon.
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Well, tonight actually, it's already out.
Oh, really? I thought they were doing the Wednesday at 9, no?
Or is it?
Either way.
No, it's today. I remember seeing June 4th was the day.
I'll give it 3 weeks so I can pile up on episodes instead of have to wait.
I feel you.
I want to binge.
Yeah, I'm on a binger, man. I like my weekly releases. But going up next, we do have Cam Sully from the Jacked Up Review Show. I believe the last time we had you on here was what, for Ferrari? Yeah?
We did Ferrari, and then we did the Johnny Depp episode.
Yeah. So welcome back here. Tell us a bit what's going on with you lately, man.
I've been doing all kinds of collaborations with the Who Would Win podcast show. They are a amusing versus match for all your geek needs. One of them is a retired wrestler. The other is a martial artist who is trained Secret Service agents. And they have a funny, amusing back and forth kind of rivalry. And it's just funny because they rep all of your favorite kinds of fictional characters, from video games and comics to movies and TV. And it's just always... It's not even so much about winning as it is about who's got just the witty retort.
I feel you, man. I'm in their Facebook group. I need to interact with them a bit.
Yes, and the judge is often a famous voice actor, so that gets even. They've had the Emily Swallows who voices the armorer gal on Mandalorian.
We got her lined up in a couple months as well. That's pretty fun. That's
She's
cool.
a darling. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's what's up.
Just awesome. And all these people have, you know, been in every kind of movie and show, doing everything from death noises to ADR, and just gotta tip your hat to them because, you know, we couldn't do it.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
We're trying to, but you know, it's a whole different story.
No, I feel you, man. I feel it. It's good to get you back on here. You know, other than Ferrari, it's been quite a minute. Like you said, you were on the Johnny Depp episode, which we did over a year ago now. God.
A year ago, yeah.
But that was just kind of freeing because we all were like, "Oh, you haven't seen that one?" Oh, it was like we were telling campfire tales.
That was a good episode, yeah.
Yeah, what? Yeah, Chris, you were there too for Johnny Depp, yeah.
I
Holy
sure
shit.
was.
It was
Oh
more
my
than just
God.
Pirates of the Caribbean rumors. Is like, let me tell you about this.
Only the best here, man. Of course, we got our man Johnny Zuko. He's been here for God knows how long. And I've said this before off air before, dude. But Johnny, you know, you started coming on here last year with Creed, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You have made the most appearances out of anybody in the shortest time frame. And I
Yes.
always fucking love you for that.
Reliable here.
Yeah, you are one of the most reliable
That's
guest stars we
crazy.
have on this
Dangerous
podcast.
man.
Like, you are one of the best volunteers we got, dude. You have saved so many episodes of this show. Always glad to get you on here, dude. Like, I wholeheartedly mean that, too, every fucking time you come on here. But
I appreciate that, but I'm pretty sure Harold's got me beat by 100 episodes, so I still got a ways to catch up.
he's got 2 years ahead of you, yeah, I'll give you that. But, yeah, you're like right neck and neck with the man. It's crazy, truly.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that Winnie the Pooh episode, bro. That Winnie the Pooh part 2.
Blood and
Still
honey?
waiting for that episode, dude.
Funny enough, that's another. We got one of the actresses reached out. We're gonna have her on for that episode. I don't want to say who.
no
I gotta
way.
keep our audience a little tease for him. But
Okay.
we'll be doing a very nice special with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, and the Peter Pan Neverland horror film coming out.
Oh wow,
Oh my god, I haven't heard about that.
Yeah, so
that is wild.
Breaking exclusive right here, only a Galaxy of Film. Nice.
that's right, man. That's right. You know us. You know us.
Film.
And I would ask you how you're doing, but we literally just finished a recording talking some Mad Max. We were, going on about how we were doing, of
Odd
course. But
man out as usual.
yeah, you know how it is.
If
Remember
we see some hate mail on Apple, we're gonna Death Star those comments.
But for our audience members, Johnny, let them know how you're doing. What's new with your life? What's new with your content as well, bro?
I dropped a music video. I'm working on another music video, and I'm gonna be shooting that hopefully next week. I got my cast all lined up, and it's gonna be a very Dextro-oriented music video.
Okay.
So we're gonna reenact the opening to the pilot episode, and we have our locations. I just need my victim, and then off to the races. But other than that,
sounding
dude,
like
I've
the
been good,
Candyman.
man. I've been just trying to hustle and just trying to, get my foot in the door. That's pretty much it. If I can't get my foot in the door, I'm fucking kicking that bitch down. I don't care.
I know that's right, bro. I just want to do right now. I got a shitty roommate. over
Be
here.
his victim.
Yeah, I'm about to go kick that bitch down in a second. Matter of fact, hold on, dude. Hold on.
You're gonna go kick it down right now. Go for
I
it.
don't need to kick it down. You know why? You know why, bro? I got the Dragon Warrior to kick this shit down. Hold up, bro.
Oh no.
Oh,
American Ninja Dragon.
Look at
Ball.
Oh, there you go.
there
Oh
he
my
is.
God.
There he is.
Yes.
Love it.
Awesome.
Nice.
Since there's no shortage of Kung Fu Panda
Hell yeah.
love, you guys would love a How Not to Make a Movie podcast. It has the head writers of the Tales from the Crypt TV show just talk, and they often interview people in the show business they know, and they decided to have on the writers of Demon Knight, who later went on to write the original Kung Fu Panda movie, and hysterical interview. It was a two-parter. They're like, we don't know why it took years to develop at DreamWorks. We thought the title was pretty self-explanatory. It's a panda who knows Kung Fu. What's to not get?
Yeah. What's there to not get?
And
But-
it stars Jack Black. Let's do it.
But we also have another guest with us too. Last but certainly not least, she's a little bit newer to our roundup of guest stars. We got Margaret Blues. Last time you were on here was talking some Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, and also Trading Places a few weeks ago. Glad to get you back on here for this. How are you doing, and what's new with you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm here to break up the sausage fest.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm used to it. I'm like that's like half of my open mic nights that I go to. But I'm doing all right. Mostly just stand-up comedy is just taking over. It's just like my whole life.
Yeah. I
Open
feel
mic
you.
night is
Like-
so much fun.
Yes. So like I do stand up usually like 3 to 4 times a week, and it's just I feel like my brain is just constantly like going and going and going with like thinking of new jokes. So I've done a lot of new jokes in the last. I've been like trying. I think my sets. I think I have like almost enough material for a 30-minute set, which I'm really psyched about.
Mm,
And
nice.
I did some really raunchy Ghostbusters jokes the other day, and they went really well. So
Yeah?
I should post one of my sets in the chat at some point.
The
So
podcast
guys
is you
can
testing
check
out
you
the
guys-
waters a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, mostly doing stand up. Tomorrow's my cat's birthday, so
Oh, happy birthday. There we go. There we
Steal
go.
my house. Yep, he's 13. He's my little baby though.
Oh wow.
Yeah, mostly
what breed?
doing stand up, and I got my Darth Vader dress because gotta have Star Wars for a Galaxy film.
That and because we're talking about movies we hate, and hatred leads to the dark
Yep.
side, so I love it.
Yep, and I have my John Belushi pillow to prop my back
Did we show?
because my boobs make my back hurt very bad. Not to be too I kept breathing.
Yeah. Me too, homegirl. I feel you on that one.
Same.
I feel you on that. But always good to get you back on here. And now we know we got
Thank
BluesCon
you.
coming up this summer, so we'll have a chance to meet up in person finally. It'll be
Oh
fun
my gosh, I'm
too.
excited.
I know. I'm pumped for BluesCon. Curtis, you gotta come with us, dude. It's in Chicago. It's in Joliet, bro.
Oh, okay. I know where that's at. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be. I'm probably gonna be flying to Detroit, linking with Brandon, Danilo, heading down to Chicago, getting Chris down, Sorrentino.
Nice.
I got a new Honda Civic, so I promise I will try to drive to one of these panels with you one of these days.
Oh, this isn't the pan. No, this is the Blues Brothers convention, man. This is actually, which is crazy too. This is the final performance of the Blues Brothers. Dan Aykroyd is retiring the character of Elwood Blues.
I can't
No
believe it. I can't
way.
believe it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Dude, I'm a huge fucking Blues Brothers fan. Like they,
Love
you
that movie.
guys, when it comes to like my filmography and like my inspirations, like I've definitely had a chance to express and show a lot of the things that have inspired me along the way with some stuff. Like I'm a big Muppets guy, so like if you
Yes.
guys watch my newest film, Goonies and Agony, the bartender character is quite literally Rolf the dog. Like there's a direct line from the Muppet
Yes.
movie from that film. Like there's a lot of that there. And the next film I'm working on called will take some of that blues inspiration as far as the music aspect of it, and will be implementing into the soundtrack with this one, which I'm really excited for.
Right.
Yeah, man, I'm
If you
pumped
need a
for it.
random Greek girl to be in the background, I'll volunteer.
We'll be in touch. We'll be in touch, Margaret.
Okay. I have acting experience. My sister and her husband make short movies sometimes.
Oh,
So,
shit.
yeah.
We'll definitely be
I'll
in
talk
touch
to you
with
about
him.
that at some point. Yeah.
I got you.
So,
I'd
Fun
ask.
fact, I don't want to say too much because it's not. We're having a shot yet. It's not a. It's a cameo, but it's not like a. It's a prop cameo, I should say. Like we're gonna have him as a prop, but I will have Sorrentino making us a brief appearance as Belushi in this film. So it'll be fun. Really looking forward to that. But yeah, man, got a lot of good stuff coming in. But I did promise you guys a little bit of a story as to why we're late for this episode, because this episode was supposed to start at 9 o'clock,
Give me a
and
story,
quite
Jake.
clearly it is 10 p.m. at this point when we started. So sincerely, my deepest apologies for that. But you guys need some background information for it to understand. I do manage a movie theater. I'm not disclosing what brand out of respect for the brand because I like my job and because we've been very biased here at Galaxy of Film. But if you've seen our stories, you know we give out some exclusive merchandise at this theater for Galaxy of Film, featuring some art prints that Will has done despite him leaving the screen just now. But we're giving out like the Godzilla art prints and the Mandalorian ones. We'll do them in the future too. But I'm working at the theater last night. I got my laptop with me. I'm doing some Galaxy of Film work in the office. And it gets hot, bro. The laptop gets hot as hell. And one thing Danilo taught me that probably isn't the best thing in the world was that when your laptop gets hot, throw that bitch in the freezer because we got to keep it moving. We got shit to do. So I did that. I'm expecting 2 minutes in the freezer. Cool it down, right? Almost like a reverse microwave. I get a call. My cast members, my employees, they're like, yo, Max, the popcorn maker's on fire. The popper's on fire.
oh my God.
I had to run out and go, like, stop this popper fire. It wasn't, like, actually on fire. It was about as fire as fire. It was smoking pretty heavy.
Oh man,
But I completely forgot about the laptop in the freezer.
can you smell what Max is cooking?
Oh, dude, no. I could smell what Max was freezing. It was my broken heart
couldn't
and my
resist.
tears when I came back and realized that my laptop was in there for like 40 minutes. So it died on me completely last night. I was in the Apple store for about 3 hours, I think, today. So
Jesus.
thankfully it's saved. We're all good to go now. It all works again. No data was lost. Shout out to you, Lillian, who works at the Apple store in Raleigh. Thank you for saving my shit, because that was the dumbest thing in the world. And thank you for not judging me, because you know what? I was very ashamed to say I put it in the freezer. But thankfully you didn't laugh. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. But that is, of course, why we are late this evening. Had to go ahead and knock out the other podcast this week, which we're talking Mad Max Fury Road and Furiosa Mad Max Saga. And that kind of just went into a runtime for this one. So sorry about that, guys. But here we are now, better late than never, only the best at Galaxy of Film. And of course, we are discussing movies we hate, movies we love to hate. Kind of like, not our top 10 hated movies of all time, that'll be a different episode at some point. But like, these are just movies that we cannot fucking stand. You know, one thing that we wanted to do a bit with Galaxy of Film Live was have these open-ended episodes, these open-ended discussions. And we did that a couple times. You know, we did with Johnny Depp. Cam, you were there for that. Curtis, you were there for that one too. You know, and it was like kind of discussing his entire filmography as a whole.
Yeah,
and then we
set the talent aside from the person. We're just like, hey, whatever you think, here's some movies and things that are good.
And then we also kind of did that a bit with talking about the Snyder Cut a long time ago too. We're discussing, not Snyder Cut, excuse me, with discussing the entire of the DCEU and how much of a failure that was. So here we are, finally with a proper follow-up to those. But we're able to kind of go ahead and discuss movies that we hate open-endedly. So yeah, without further ado, let's kind of go ahead and just, I guess, dive into this thing, bro. So Dakari, off the top of your head, man, what's a fucking movie you absolutely can't stand?
Off the top of my head, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yep.
Everyone can hear you.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Sorry
if the quality of the microphone is terrible. I need to get a new one. I'm using my laptop mic to suffice for that right now. But a movie that off the top of my head that I can't stand. I can't fucking stand. Every time I think about this movie, it just irritates me. Yeah, I think about every time is Dragon Ball.
Reach it.
Yeah,
Reach it.
that movie.
Listen,
I
man.
don't think you're gonna have any resistance. I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, it doesn't make sense to non-fans. It doesn't make sense to fans. It's
like, what the fuck was that?
Listen,
It was
there's
a bad
just
dream.
so everything about that movie is just wrong. Like, even as a Dragon Ball fan, there's just this movie is just wrong on so many levels. There's just, I don't want to say there's things wrong about it. Like, everything about it is wrong. Like,
If
like,
I'm not mistaken,
I don't
real
even know
quick.
what to...
Hold on, real quick, Dakari. If I'm not mistaken, whenever we did our episode with Stephanie Nadolny, didn't she even dog on that movie briefly?
Yes, she did.
Briefly, she did. Yes.
Yeah.
Briefly,
that movie was a
she did.
disappointment to everyone.
Like,
it doesn't work even as like not a Dragon Ball Z fan. If you're just like going in like not knowing anything about it, it's just a bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
That was my introduction to Dragon Ball.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm
I'm
so
sorry.
sorry. I'm
God
so
damn.
sorry.
Pretty
I'm
husband,
sorry you had
I'll
to
tell you
experience
that.
this
Pay
shit.
the bills. Yeah.
I'm so sorry, but listen, let me give some context, right? So this movie, well, ironically, we're discussing this after or on the cusp of the creator Akira Toriyama's passing. May he rest in peace. The reason why he brought back things, he rebooted Dragon Ball with movies like Battle of the Gods and Resurrection F, and then he brought it back with the series Dragon Ball Super, that he was fucking horrified by this movie. Like, he was terrified and just flabbergasted at how this movie turned out.
He didn't want his creation to be like known by like this bastardization of his work.
Exactly.
And that really drove him to work harder to influence, like, you know, how Dragon Ball and anime in general is viewed in the West. And I'd say
Exactly.
and that's the best part about this movie's existence. In a weird way, it did revive Dragon Ball because they had to make this statement of like, that's not what Dragon Ball is. This is what it is. And
we don't want to lose the license, so let's make a half-baked movie. Yeah, everything is business-driven, and greed just always shows on screen. You know.
Yeah. Like I said, dude, this was
and
my
if it doesn't make
exposure to this
sense
shit.
to anybody, you know, you can't call it a movie. You know.
Like this movie is such a Americanized and Hollywoodized adaptation of a beloved source material. Like they turned the Nameks, which is King Piccolo's race. They make the Nameks. They make out the Nameks to be like this villainous, evil group of people who are out to destroy the world. While in the anime and in the manga, they're like a peace-loving group.
They're like farmers.
Or pretty not they're peace-loving group. They're farmers. They're recluses. They are pretty much like monks in the anime. And
Wait, let me ask you this real quick too, Curtis. Real quick. Sorry for interrupting, Dakari. Just while this is on my mind, Curtis. Going back to Star Wars real quick, because obviously there's a lot of inspiration back and forth. Are the Nameks the inspiration for Zeb's species? The Lasat?
Maybe there is.
They might be. I don't know.
They might be, though. If it's not the Namekians, I'm sure there's some influence because Dragon Ball has a lot of alien like one-off species.
Yeah.
Where Zeb looks a lot like some of them.
I think you actually
you have Chewbacca's concept art.
You might have actually a point there because I remember part of Zeb's character in Rebels is that like isn't his home planet is like destroyed and they're trying to find a new home.
Zeb's dead, baby. Zeb's dead.
Right? That's actually a big part of Dragon Ball as well. Their home world gets destroyed and they have to find a new planet. So maybe I'm sure. I mean, Dave Filoni's a huge anime nerd and you know, loves all that stuff. So there's no doubt an influence there.
Okay, but keep going, Dakari. Sorry for interrupting. I decided to ask.
Yeah, man. Quick. Yeah, you're good. So they turned the Nameks into villains, and you got Goku, who is a high school senior and is 18 and is less worried about the mythical legend of the Dragon Ball. Once his grandpa Gohan gives him a Dragon Ball, he's less interested in that and more so trying to get it on with his crush in school by the name of Chi-Chi. Which honestly, man, this movie is fucked up on so many different levels because remember in the original Dragon Ball, Goku actually did not know what a girl was.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, exactly, because in the original Dragon Ball, I forgot the character's name, but he meets a girl and
Bulma.
It was Bulma, and she's like, I'm a girl, silly. Oh, a girl? So that's what you are. Oh my God! You mean to tell me you've never seen a girl before? Nope. Besides my grandpa, you're the only human I've ever seen. Like it's just it's a whole bunch of shit in this movie that they screw over from the original adaptation and make it this fucking coming of age teen drama made for the CW network. It's really fucking terrible. And then they turn Yamcha into a fucking jock. They turn Yamcha into a jock, right?
He's probably
and then
one of the better parts of it.
Not even
Vim Ramsey, the stuntman and screenwriter. Why did he wait so long to just like apologize for this movie? It's like, well, dude, what did you write? You've done some decent B action movies, but this what is this?
The fight choreography isn't even good. You know,
like
things that
choreography.
Things that could
the editing is
something that
incompetent.
could save the movie. Things that could save a movie that's terrible, like they managed to fumble the bag in every aspect.
You don't like seeing Goku spin on his head on the car?
Oh, dude, I swear to God, the fight choreography in this movie looks like fight choreography that has been like dumbed down for a music video or something. You know what I'm saying? They just dumbed down a lot of the techniques and they just dumbed down a lot of movements for little kids. Like this shit feels like it's worse than a Disney Channel movie. It's worse than Wendy Wu Homecoming Warrior. if you know what that movie is. Okay? And one of my least favorite aspects about this movie is the fact that they use the Kamehameha, the Kamehameha wave. When Goku is out cold in one scene, Master Roshi, who is played by Chow Yun-fat, and I'm so sorry that Chow Yun-fat is in this movie. He is such a talented actor, and he's leagues beyond this. Like, he uses the fucking Kamehameha wave to heal and bring Goku back to life.
Yep.
But then when you go to the finale of this movie, Goku ends up using the Kamehameha wave to defeat Piccolo, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Did Master Roshi use a Kamehameha wave to bring back Goku? So how is he using the Kamehameha wave to kill Piccolo? Like,
and it's not like the one in the
sense.
anime either. It's like he charged up and there's like a forward punch, and it goes, "That's what it is now."
Bro, it's just nothing in this movie makes sense. Nothing in this fucking movie makes sense. And then when he turns into the 8 Ozaru, like, you just don't give a shit at this point because it's just like, yo, I don't believe that Goku is a Saiyan. I believe that all Goku cares about is getting it on with this fucking girl. That's literally all he cares about.
It's even funnier too because it's Steve and Fiona from Shameless, which is hilarious.
Oh my God.
Everything happens for a reason, but I feel like half our actors we love in this world, the ones who've been here the longest, like the Danny Trejos, they're like at the 10th stage of their career. Actors like this, they have to. It's like they get in the door thanks to Spielberg and all the other guys, and then they have to start back to square one because of stuff, roadblocks like this. And it's like, well, how do you recreate yourself in this cutthroat business?
I guess so, man. Right. I really fucking hate though, dude. I think is like I'm gonna start off strong. I think my most hated movie of all time, bro. I hate this man as a fucking director. I hate him as a person, as a musician. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 Family Matters. Fuck this movie, dude.
Wow.
Fuck this movie.
Damn. I actually like that movie.
You like this shit?
I like that movie because I think it's a really great take on the final girl trope and breaking down your final girl. And at the end of it, she becomes the perpetrator and she's no longer a victim. She succumbs to evil, which is why she sees the pale horse.
Yeah, dude, no. I'm glad Margaret wore the Vader dress because all of the ending of Halloween 2 Family Matters is a terrible version of the scrapped ending for Return of the Jedi. That's all it is, dude.
Oh,
Rob Zombie.
I've never seen that, but that I understand what you're saying now because
I
you
totally
made that
understand, dude.
I've never even seen that movie. But.
He needs some work. He needs some retooling, but at the same time, at least he doesn't go into torture porn mode where you just feel like you're watching a snuff movie. You feel like you're just watching a gritty B movie.
No, that's what I feel like with the first Halloween.
As opposed to Saw 5000, where you're like, please, this isn't scary. This isn't fun. Stop.
I'd rather be, I don't know, dude. The first Halloween remake is kind of like torture porn too, because it's like we're seeing for 40 minutes Kid Michael just beat the fuck out of dogs, rats, some random kid in the woods with a stick. Rob Zombie.
I think I would just say it's a nihilistic movie as opposed to. I'm showing you all these images you don't want to see, and they don't mean anything. It's a snuff film.
Rob Zombie doesn't understand Michael Myers, bro. He doesn't. Like, the whole point of Michael is that he's pure evil. We don't need any other explanation of that. He is not a Freddy Krueger. He's not a Jason Voorhees.
Here's the thing about that, though, is that, he fucked up by trying to remake John Carpenter's movie instead of making his own Halloween movie. And if he would have just made his own Halloween movie and not, consult Carpenter, I guarantee the 2 sequels would be much better received because he put his own spin in his own thing, and he's trying to tell a story about nature versus nurture. And I think that was the theme that he was really trying to hammer home. I don't think he executed it properly, but
that's a good point.
Those were the themes that he was really trying to get across in those 2 movies.
Halloween brings out the worst in everybody, I'm noticing.
Dude, but
we got these new awful movies by this guy who's done great comedies with Danny McBride. So what the hell's going on here?
Back to
David Gordon Green is fucking terrible. Like fuck that trilogy.
I saw one guy saying there's a difference. I'm like, in terms of quality, not much.
You also bring up fucking what you call it, John Carpenter for a second though. His whole fake beef of Carpenter was some bullshit. That was annoying as fuck.
Yeah.
Saying that
Okay,
Carpenter didn't
that's
support
on
the
Carpenter
film.
though. That's on Carpenter because Carpenter had
He's
ample
smart
fucking
as hell.
time to say, "I do not approve of this movie." It wasn't until David Gordon Green came up to him and said, "Hey, we want you on board." That's when he started talking mad shit. That's why Rob Zombie had problems with Carpenter. Because, like, you could have set this shit back in 2007, and we wouldn't have had an issue.
Carpenter had
No, that's
plenty
what I'm
of money to
talking
buy
about.
back
Was
from
years
the
ago before the
Weinsteins.
David Gordon Green
Yeah.
stuff, dude. He was faking beef with Carpenter for promo about it. There's an
No, he
interview, if I'm not
wasn't.
mistaken,
He
from
wasn't.
like
I listened to
2000.
It was
that
good
Joe
of
Rogan
both.
podcast. He wasn't. Carpenter was the one that kind of gave him a backhanded compliment. And Carpenter and Zombie's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, seriously?
Dude,
Like, I remade your movie. Like, at least, like, you could tell me to my face as a man that you thought it sucked. Not go over to a convention and then tell thousands and hundreds of people saying, oh, his version sucks.
it fucking
be
does
fair,
though, dude.
It had some serious competition with Resurrection.
Halloween Resurrection?
Yeah, the 10th and what was supposed to be the final movie.
Resurrection had a great premise, but that was a bad fucking movie.
That's
I
the
will
one with
say that.
Busta Rhymes, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one where they're in the ghost
Only
hunters.
good-
They're doing like the little live Big Brother thing in the haunted
Yeah.
house.
I have only
great
seen the
premise.
beginning of Resurrection like 20 times. I never actually watched the
They
whole
had
movie.
the lead star from Save the Last Dance,
Wow.
and even he is like, "What do I do in this movie? This is
But back to Halloween 2 though, man. I fucking hate this thing. There's an uncomfortable Weird Al cameo. I love Weird Al to fucking death, dude. I adore this man. Like my entire YouTube fucking I got the sticker logo right here, bro. My
Weird
old
Al was amazing.
CBD12 content back when I was in middle school and high school. A lot of this shit's back in my current films. If you've seen Goonies and Agony, you fucking know what I'm talking about. However, dude, when I was doing that, I wasn't, yo, what's up, guys? It's Max from Galaxy of Film. No, I was Weird Max from CBD12. That was my whole thing, bro. I loved Weird Al. The worst fucking thing in the world is Weird Al's cameo in this thing. He's talking to Chris Hardwick on a TV. It's shot with TV too. They're on like a late night thing, and they make a god awful joke about Michael Myers being Mike Myers. Oh,
yeah from
in
Austin
the
Powers.
movie.
it's in the movie. And funny enough, the real funny thing is,
my
it's
God.
also joked about obviously in Baby Driver, in the intro bit where they're doing the mask for the beginning heist. That
Yeah.
that is funny to me. I feel like Edgar Wright saw Halloween 2 and was also pissed
Yeah,
off about
I
his
gotta
cameo
comment on
and
it.
made that
Yeah.
into a real joke. It pissed me off so much, man. I'm sick of seeing his fucking wife's ass on screen. Sherry Moon, dude. We'll get on more about Tim Burton stuff later. I'm sick of seeing Tim Burton's wife and everything he fucking touches. But goddamn, Sherry Moon does not need to be in every fucking thing this man directs. Okay, she can't act. She doesn't have an ass. I'm tired of seeing her flat fucking ass on screen, like right in front of me the whole fucking time, dude. And she's a stripper in this movie. Like it's right fucking there. Like it's
That's
so
what's just so weird.
uncomfortable.
They seem like the nicest people in public, and then you see all those other movies. You're like, well, could have fooled me. Like I don't see much of a substance to quote you. I'm just like, yeah, it's just like,
Oh my god.
what are you
dude.
even doing? What
You know
point
what,
are you
bro?
even trying to make?
You know what? This might be a controversial take, okay? Opinions aside, politics aside, whatever. Okay, it's no secret I'm a Kanye fan, okay? Dude, people want to critique Kim and Kanye when they were doing that whole thing in the 2010s and their whole relationship, calling them the annoying couple. Rob Zombie and Sherry Moon are 1,000 times worse than any other fucking celebrity couple in this goddamn industry. I can't stand them, bro. I want to punch both of them in the fucking head, bro. Like,
You might have a chance at a convention.
yeah, I fucking might, dude. Me and John Carpenter can jump Rob Zombie, I bet.
I'm
That'd
not
be fun.
encouraging violence, but I'm not saying no.
But-
I don't know what that says about me, but here we are.
Back to the movie itself real quick. Yeah, this is fucking weird. Like, Michael talks in the last film as a kid, which is really weird. Takes away from the whole evil being evil thing. But in this one, it's really fucking weird because his mom is there as like a weird force ghost vision thing the whole fucking movie. And she's speaking to him. He's not wearing the mask. He's like a hobo Michael Myers, which if you thought his hobo Michael Myers thing in Halloween Ends was bad, he's like full hoboed out, beard, long hair. It's fucking weird, dude. We're seeing his mom pop around.
1000% accurate. And you want to know the most laughable comment I've ever heard about that movie? People going, "That's the most realistic 911 opening ever." I'm like, you haven't ever been on 911 then. That is not even remotely
and she's just
what
this
they
whole
do.
time, Michael, you need to do this.
What are you doing?
Michael,
What are you doing?
Michael, get off fucking set, dude. Put on your fucking mask and shave your beard. I'm sick of seeing you, dude. You look like you belong in a fucking homeless shelter, buddy. Like, it's so awful. Yeah, and then keep on going through the film. We get this Force Ghost thing. It starts off as a remake of Halloween 2, which I will admit, I kind of dug. Because it's like, oh, we don't really see a remake of a sequel that much. Especially when it's a sequel to another remake. And it turns out Laurie's just having a bad dream, so she's not really in the hospital kind of thing. Stupid. Fucking stupid. But the real kicker is the ending, of course. Because, like I said, it's like the Return of the Jedi ending. Where Luke had put on Vader's mask. He's like, now I am, I think Vader, I think he's what he said or something.
Yeah, he says, I am Captain Kirk. No.
It's awful. And then, in this, as Laurie kills Michael in like this weird barn thing, like he's just in this piece of farming equipment, like stabbed, and he like is doing the whole, like, I'm not going to talk, he's going to make fucking noises, which is really weird when he doesn't have a mask on, especially now. You know, it's not like Halloween Resurrection where he's just swiping at Laurie, Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie. It's like a real fucking like odd struggle for this.
It's like they saw the Halloween plots, but then said, let's rip off the rip-offs Friday the 13th instead.
It's awful. And then then Laurie takes off his fucking mask, or has the mask in hand. It's not on him. She just has it for some fucking reason. Goes outside the barn surrounded. Keep in mind. Michael's dead. She comes out holding the shit. Then she puts it on. And we get a vision with Michael's mom. Little Michael. Her. There's like a fucking... Almost like Blade Runner. There's like a fucking like unicorn in this thing. At one point. Or a Pegasus, whatever the fuck. I don't know what the fuck Rob Zombie was smoking, dude. He's the reason I'm now sober. It's fucking awful.
I gotta watch this.
Oh,
I'm not even gonna lie to you.
You want your time back.
I'm not even gonna lie to you, Max. The first time I watched this movie, I didn't even finish it. I was high, and I didn't even want to finish it. I didn't even want to finish it. I didn't want to finish it. That's how frustrated I was watching this movie. I'm like, this is not a fun watch. I'm not interested in what's happening here. Like, I'm not intrigued. Like, this is this is the lowest you could go in terms of a slasher film, especially a remake of Halloween. Like, I'm not scared of Michael Myers, and you're making this feel like a snuff film more than it needs to be. Like,
right?
This is not fun. I'm not enjoying this at all.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing
like
of grandeur. Exactly. There's nothing of mysticism going on. There's nothing of intrigue. Like, it's one of the dullest horror movies I've ever seen in my life. So for you to bring that up, Max, I'd agree with you. I don't even remember watching the first Rob Zombie Halloween. Okay, I don't even remember watching that.
I will catch myself every once in a while, every other year or so, throwing on the first Halloween remake. I think it's god awful, but it's one of those things where I'm like, oh yeah, guys, we just binged the other 6 of these. Let's talk about how fucking trash this one is real quick. Have in the background. You know, like, I have a distinct memory of I have the DVD copy downstairs. I got it at a pawn shop, actually. I'll bring it up in a little bit.
Oh dear.
But my buddy Nick, you guys are familiar with him on Galaxy Film, The Nugget. Dakari, you've met Nick a couple times. Nick is weird, all right? I love him to death. He's my best friend in the fucking world. Closest thing I have to an actual brother. But Nick's a hoarder, bro. Nick will just have shit. If you've seen our video, Be a Free Little Nugget, people think Nick is acting or just doing shit scripted. That's the point. Like, that's just Nick, all right? I just put a camera on him and he just did stuff, all right? There's just nothing with that. Nugget 2, which we're still doing, is scripted. I'm going to have fun with that one. But Nugget 1 is just fucking weird. And at one point when I was, like, 14, Nick just buys shit. Like, he has, 5 cars in his front yard right now. They don't run. They're just there. They're just hanging out. And when I was, 14, Nick was 16, he bought a camper, a pop-up camper. And it was almost like as if like you know the whole thing back in the day when you're growing up, you're like your parents like, oh, let's camp in the backyard kind of shit, right? Bro, Nick's like, oh, but let's go camping in my Kempa. We're in this fucking driveway with this camper hooked up with a tube TV thrown inside of it, right? And we got snacks from the gas station because we're not even old enough to even attempt a drink at that age, kind of thing. And we had a shitty DVD player, and we're watching Rob Zombie's Halloween remake. And it gets to the point where it's young Michael beating the fuck out of this kid in the woods, and the DVD starts to skip. And it's just like a broken record. We just see Michael just constantly beating this fucker. It's the worst, best memory I have of that movie. It's, both of them are just terrible, dude. I'm gonna get more of Nick movies later on, but Margaret, what's the movie you fucking hate? Absolutely.
Okay. I feel like it's pretty common to hate this movie, but I am a diehard Twilight hater.
Oh,
okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not cliche at all. In fact, I have too many pals who are defenders, so I need you to bring some common sense to their minds.
Okay.
If you will.
Okay.
I love Kellen Lutz. I love Ashley Greene. But
yeah, there's a lot of talented people in the movies, but
everybody else.
Well,
please.
I feel like, I feel like I have like a unique perspective as probably more than everybody else here, just because I was the demographic when it came out. I was a teen girl when it came out, so I was like in the trenches for that, and like everybody at my school was obsessed with Twilight. I hated it so much. I mean, first off, the acting is. Are we allowed to swear?
No, bro, I said fuck like 20 times.
Have you listened to our shit? Oh my god.
Yes, no, I remember. I'm just worried because of YouTube. YouTube has weird censorship.
No, you're
censorship.
Good.
Okay.
Yes, they do.
Okay. The acting is fucking shit in this movie. Robert Pattinson, he's normally like good. He just looks constipated the entire movie. I mean, it's just I watched it. We watched it maybe like a couple years ago. It was like the first time I watched it since I was like a teenager. I'm like, maybe I should retry it because it was when the Twilight Renaissance was happening, and I'm like, okay, maybe I was just like a bitter bitch in high school, and I was just mad that I was just mad that all the popular girls liked it, and I was like the weird fat girl who was obsessed with Batman and got made fun of. So I was like, okay, maybe I was just a bitter bitch in high school. And I watched it, and I felt like I was watching a serial killer documentary. It's so fucking creepy. Okay, first off, Bella's a dumbass. She's like the 17-year-old girl, and she meets this guy, and she's like, oh my god, I'm gonna kill myself. I don't marry him. Like, if I was
vampire rape and take advantage of me. Yeah.
Yeah, if I was with the guy that
it's PG-13.
I would be miserable. Okay, 17-year-olds are dumb. Like all these characters, I just was watching it. I'm like, I hate teenagers. I do not have the patience for that. She's just like, Edward, I'm gonna kill myself. We don't fall in love, and I'm just like, you are stupid. You're 17. You need to.
Is that the one she jumps off the cliff, right?
That's
next
she
jumps off the cliff.
There's almost always a cliff jump in any of those bad movies, but I feel you. I feel your pain, Margaret, because I have done this many times. I've done this with my sister, where she was in love with a few fantasy movies, and then after the fact, she's like, "Oh, it wasn't ever that much. It wasn't ever that good." I'm like, "Yeah, but you saw it 20 times." I've done it with other pals who love awful slashers, action racing movies, and even college comedies. I'm like, I thought it was toxic then. I thought it was poorly made then, but to them, they thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. And you're like.
What I don't get about he he goes up to her and he's like, if you don't stay away from me, I'm gonna kill you. I'm like, I would get a restraining order.
You're right.
Like, oh, Daddy, I love you, Daddy. Like, oh my God, Jesus Christ, Bella. Like, she's it's just like it's terrible to watch. And then
you ruined vampire movies.
What?
Oh, just in general, just ruined vampire movies. I would see that Lionsgate and MGM like reissue other popular movies like Near Dark and Fright Night, but give it a Twilight cover. I'm like, that's not what the movie's like at all.
And the sparkling, ooh, it makes me so angry. It's just one thing I like in the movies is I like the bad guys, like the bad vampires, like Victoria. They're kind of cool. And then I love Bella's dad, Charlie. He's just the vibe. Like he's just like
hell yeah, Team Charlie.
Oh,
he's a good musician and comedian. Yeah,
and really, and oh my gosh, and New Moon, I like Michael Sheen. Michael Sheen's awesome in that movie. He's just like the like vampire that's like trying to kill the mom. Like I'm rooting for Michael Sheen. And I feel like I have more to say about Twilight. It just makes me angry. And then
it's like 50 Shades. They got these good directors, but they keep giving them awful scripts, and it just shows you.
Yeah,
you can
50
get
Shades is a masterpiece, dude. Shut your mouth. Me and Will know that one firsthand. All right, that's a great fucking movie.
I prefer classic Skinamax. Thank you very much. Anyway,
Oh, real quick, Mark. I'm sorry to interrupt you for this one, but you mentioned Twilight, and I'm glad you did. I was hoping someone would, because a few weeks ago we had Brendan Wayne on the podcast. He plays the Mandalorian in Star Wars.
Oh,
and the start of that video was actually me with Brendan and Latif, who's also one of the actors who also plays the Mandalorian.
He does all the flips. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, he does a lot of the stunt work too, like the Darksaber stuff. That's Latif.
That's what I mean. The flips.
Yeah. So then, when I met them in California, Anaheim last year or 2 years ago for Star Wars Celebration, I was at a bar. It was a Star Wars Autograph Universe after party thing. Shout out to Andy for hooking up for passes for that. But when I met them, I was drunk as fuck, and they were on stage at a panel, like a small, like 20-person audience thing, real intimate. And Latif is in Twilight, and he was talking about how he was in it. And I remember he was like, he's on the mic, he's also drinking. He's like, I was also in Twilight. I don't know what the fuck I even did, bro. Like, I don't know what the fuck that movie was, but I'm fucking in it. And I remember screaming out in the audience, like, but you got paid for that shit. And he thought it was the funniest fucking thing, bro.
Oh my god. So, that was funny.
But keep going on about Twilight, Margaret.
Oh my gosh. So a funny story about Twilight is that the whole concept of Twilight came up because Stephanie Meyer, the author, she had like a sex dream about Gerard Way for My Chemical Romance as a vampire.
I've heard about this.
I love My Chemical Romance. Like, they were my first concert. And Gerard Way, she asked him to write a song for the movie, and he basically told her to fuck off. He wrote a diss track on their album called Vampire Me. It's fantastic. But yeah,
it's like when Ryan Murphy asked to use the Foo Fighters on his show, and he's like on Glee, and he's like, I ain't fucking letting you use it on that shit.
Oh yeah, good for Dave Grohl.
And
then I just like Arpats and K-Stu, like they had no chemistry. Every time they kissed, they looked like they were gonna vomit. It was so uncomfortable to watch. Like, there were parts where he was like supposed to like be looking at her like he was like into her, and he like looked like he was gonna vomit. And I'm just like, why? There was nothing. Like, it was literally like the sexual chemistry of like two dirty wet dish sponges making out. Like, that's what
that sounds way hotter than that whole movie.
Oh my God.
It does, honestly. And like, they were dating in real life. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And then I remember he said he wanted to eat her because she smelled like flowers. Like, when I smell flowers, I don't want to eat them. Like, at least make her smell like a cheeseburger. Like, make her smell like a Big Mac or something. Like, that's more believable. And then with New Moon, like, they like very much like sexualized Taylor Lautner when he was like 16 or something. And they made him like get super buff. I'm like, that's like very unhealthy. And there was like all like these like 50-year-old women who were like would like sexually harass him
awning over him when he's underage.
And
you're like, what the hell?
That was like super creepy. And like,
and then he tried to become an action star, and you're like, I don't think you can take out 50 people.
He like has a podcast now and is married to like some non-celebrity or something, so I think he's doing good for himself. But like,
that's good. Like, there's someone that has his name. It's called the Two Taylors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Which is looking hilarious.
God, he's a little Shark Boy, man. Can't sexualize Shark Boy.
Oh, that is classic. That is a classic. Shark Boy and Love Girl. That is an American cinematic classic.
That's a cheesy classic.
I agree. That is such a guilty pleasure.
Guilty. I saw that in theaters, dude. There's nothing guilty about Shark Boy and Lava. That movie's fucking incredible.
It's a guilty pleasure in all the right ways, because I see why people hate it, but
Robin,
I always enjoy Shark Boy and Lava. I always did.
Oh, good. I love Ballistic X versus Sever, so you're in good company.
Oh hell
That's the one with Banderas and Lucy Lawless.
I
Lucy
interviewed
Liu?
the director who got fired. He had some great stories, and
Oh my
he's got a
goodness
director's cut there
gracious.
somewhere.
Oh,
Watch it
Jesus.
again.
I
You
will
might like
admit
it
that
better.
was a great trailer, though. That trailer they cut back in the day was really
It
good.
was one of those I hated it growing up, and it spawned on me. It felt like Born Identity Light. It was just trashy fun.
Oh God.
I might have
I
to give
can't
that one a
stand that movie.
rewatch.
I can't stand that movie. I'm sorry. I can't stand it.
No, it's all good.
Let's take a look at the chat real quick, guys. We got some comments. We got Harold saying really hype. Benzito, the Batrix God with a little flex muscle. Thanks, G. We got our boy Shamim, our director of fan relations, in the comments saying, "Hey guys, Max and crew, what's up, bro?" We got Danilo in the comment section saying, "Did we talk yet about the all-time classic Space Jam New Legacy?"
Oh, we need to talk about that. We need to talk about that now.
We're gonna get to Space Jam. We're gonna get to it. I'll never forget the time though. For whoever this fucking idiot was, we were in Atlanta, Dakari, Danilo, and I, to go see Kanye for the first listening party, and it was like we just recorded our Space Jam episode. We convinced Danilo to buy a plane ticket and a ticket to the show, like with a 4-hour notice, basically. Like we had to go the very next morning to go out to the fucking Atlanta for this thing, and it's opening weekend of Space Jam on HBO Max. There's a mural of this we found on the side of the road at like a record shop we were checking out. Just a random mural of Space Jam. So we took a picture with it to promote the episode, of course. Some fucking douchebag comes up posing in the picture with us. I think got upset that we tried to retake the picture afterwards. Remember that, Dakari?
Vaguely.
What the hell?
Okay, real sick one. Thanks for having us support, buddy.
Engine whore.
Yeah, what a fuck.
Do you have that picture?
I'll pull it up real quick.
You still have that picture?
I still got it, but my phone's charging right now. But I still got it.
I got it, bro. I got the evidence. Trust me. I got all the evidence. Hold on. Let's go back. Take a little look. See, that was what, 2021?
Yeah.
Damn, that was 3 years ago.
Oh, that hurts me.
Oh my god, dude. We've been doing Galaxy of Film for almost 4 years now. Can you believe that shit?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got me feeling old, man. Scrolling through, God, New York was end of 2021. I feel so old now.
Oh my god, I remember when you were like, "Yeah, maybe we'll go to New York."
Yeah, dude. Oh, what a fucking life we've lived. What a fucking life. Hold on, where's the picture? That was the day after the event, right? Yeah, that was.
That was the day after. All
right, so here's the beautiful picture of us all flicking off the Space Jam mural, right?
Hell yeah.
That's when I had my locks. I still have my locks. Yeah.
Speaking of, you also got a comment from Danilo saying, "Dakari, nice cut, G."
Thank you, man.
Here's right away. This was the original with the fucking guy in the background.
Oh yeah. I remember now. I was so pissed.
Oh, he photobombed you.
Not even a photo bomb. He's just posing.
Wow.
I'm like, dude, what? Look at my face. I'm like, what the hell is this dude doing?
That's
what
awesome.
A fucking douchebag.
Stop stealing our thunder, man. You know.
Dakari said, or Danilo said, "Go to pick." I was struggling. Oh, yeah. He said, "Oh, have we also talked about the amazing film House of Gucci?" Fuck House of Gucci. We were just comparing.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen House of Gucci.
Awful. If you've listened to our House of Gucci episode, all I'm going to say is it's an episode we did. There was a very heated debate, and I loved it because it was a mayhem. It was awful.
Don't let Gaga ever act again.
But
thank you.
We just recorded a beautiful episode about Mad Max, and dude, Johnny Zuko, you just House of Gucci the fuck out of that episode, and I love you for it, bro.
Yes, you did.
It was incredible. It was beautiful. Well, listen to the episode, you guys will get it. I won't say anymore.
My pleasure, man.
Won't spoil it. We got Brandon, our editor, in the comment section saying, "Yo,
that episode when it drops."
He stole my dream journal. I was struggling. Danilo also says, "I was struggling with life. Nothing was good. Rent was too high. Bills are too high. Parents divorced. Forever alone. Then I watched Goonies in agony, and my life improved. I felt alive." That's the fucking spirit, and I know that's right, buddy.
That's nice.
Oh, and
Shout out to
then
Danilo.
Oh, Shamim wants us to go and plug this in too. Guys, link down below. I'll edit this afterwards because I can't edit the description while we're live, or else it'll crash my PC. But yeah, they are doing some signed 8x10 posters for Shamim's film, The Autograph King. It's a whole fundraiser event going on for it. Link down below for that, guys. Check it out to help finish that movie. Gets signed by Shamim, I believe one of the producers as well as the director Scott Zacharin, who's also been on Galaxy of Film too. So check the episode out as well, talking about the creating Remlazar. So that was a fun time. But let's see what else we got going on. House of Gucci is entertainingly bad. Yeah, dude.
I thought it was just boring.
I haven't seen it.
That was atrocious.
I'm like probably like one of the biggest diehard Al Pacino fans in the world, and I haven't seen. Yeah. Yes.
It's awful.
I've only seen the end of that movie, and it felt like a parody of like a biopic.
Yeah.
And Jared Leto's accent was. I felt like he was.
Wait, that is
Max.
I wouldn't even call it.
Jared Leto mentioned.
Don't even get Max.
Here we go. Pop it up back and then let Max begin.
I just want to say we've successfully gone a long time about not discussing Mr. Jared Leto, okay? But you know what? And this is my room's a fucking mess right now, guys. But I'm gonna take the headphones off. I'm gonna show you something cool, okay? Hold up.
What the hell going on here?
Pulls out a giant wall.
Let Max bust to move.
Hold on,
I
I
guess
gotta
it's
pull
a
it out.
pinata.
I gotta pull this shit out.
Things
If it's
about
a
to get
pinata,
interesting.
double points to you.
I got all my film
Now
equipment
that-
over here because I did a whole shoot for our nonprofit we work for, Hope for Teens. Check them out if you're in the Wake County area. Great nonprofit for the LGBT youth. However, I got this nice case over here. They keep the camera and all the gear, right?
It's Morbius themed.
Warrior just to
I know. I think I know what you're doing.
Here it goes.
All right, you ready for this shit? Like, oh, look at that. We got the
It's gonna be
camera, we got the
fucking-
lens, the shebang, the
Yeah.
works. Am I right? On here, I got a
Yeah.
lot of the Galaxy of Film stickers over the years. We got the logo, Goonies and Agony, the OG logo, LFG.
Yeah.
Let me move
Yeah.
the fucking mic so you can see. The Celebration
Go
sticker,
on.
the Spartan Strong sticker, the fucking awards bait, Lawn Busters, fucking No Vex, some of the QR code. It's all over this bitch. This is heavy as
It's
hell,
all
too.
in the bag.
However,
Check it out.
front and center,
follow.
right by our logo, will always sit the beautifulness, incredible thing we once had, the fuck Jared Leto
Fuck
stickers.
Jared Leto.
I love these things to death, and I had to have one on here, dude. Jared Leto, if for some reason you're watching this out there, don't think I ever forgot about you, buddy boy. I still fucking hate you, bro. You're still a god-awful actor and one of the worst actors to ever grace the silver screen. You are a terrible fucking person, and your movies are dog shit. The only thing you've ever done right in your career was Requiem for a Dream. That, and there's one good 30 Seconds to Mars song, Closer to the Edge. I'll stand on that statement to the day I die. Good song. That's it.
There's a couple good 30 Seconds from Mars songs.
Don't even start with me. Don't even start with me.
Don't like
No. No, sir.
No.
A couple, though. No more than a couple.
I want to say he's.
You need to watch this movie right here, bro.
Oh
I'm
god.
about to fly to California and like piss on
God.
that movie, dude. Fuck that.
Watch this movie.
That's a bad
Watch
movie.
this movie. This is his best movie, bro.
And you know
I
what?
don't believe you.
We did an
Best
episode on the
movie is
podcast already on
Alexander, where he
this.
dies.
We did an episode on the podcast way back when on this already, but obviously Suicide Squad is on my fucking movies we hate list. God awful movie, dude. I will never
Room
forget.
is even better because he dies. Anyway.
I will never forget my experience of that movie, and I will tell this little story, and I'll move on if you guys talk more movies you hate too. But I remember when Jared Leto tried acting, and then I instantly turned off my TV. I know that's right. We also got another comment from Derek Lyons, who was one of our CB12 stream admins, saying, "Whoever said the Lion King remake, give that person a raise. Piss off with that fucking movie."
What? How dare you, sir?
Oh,
It's not good. I don't like it either.
awful.
I don't watch anything Disney, so
They're crazy for that. Anyway,
I don't watch no Disney movies.
opening
No more
night
remakes, please.
for Suicide Squad. 2016, my parents separated, divorced, all that kind of shit. So the girl I was dating at the time, bro, we would go see movies a lot in 2016. 2015, we did not see a lot of shit. I've talked about that on the podcast too, even tonight with Mad Max, when we were talking about that on another recording. Dakari. 2016, we saw a lot of movies because we can include my mom going with us. You know, like she was like our unofficial third wheel. And it was cool. Like, it was my mom. I like seeing fucking movies with my mom still. You know, like I took her to go see.
It's not bad ones.
Yeah, not bad ones, but like I saw The Killing Joke though the only night it was in theaters with my mom. Like she's a big Batman fan. You know, she.
Oh my god, we were talking about that before you came on.
The Killing Joke? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah, like she's a big Batman fan, so it's cool I can involve her and stuff like that. So when the DCEU was fresh, took her to see Batman versus Superman opening night. She liked it because she likes Ben Affleck.
Sure.
Yeah. So obviously we
I
saw
like
Suicide
the action
Squad.
and characters in that movie. It's just his Joker is just terrible.
Nah, dude, you're tripping balls. That movie's just garbage through and through. The only good thing about it is hearing Kanye's Black Skinhead go on when Will Smith is shooting out in the range when he's in prison still. And notice I say Will Smith, not Deadshot, and that's coming from a Will Smith fan. Yeah, man. Opening night, we go there. We go there with my mom, and I have my girlfriend with us. We're at that's not an AMC yet, but I got bought out by an AMC. It's an IMAX theater. We're seeing Suicide Squad, right? We get there late. Girlfriend at the time, I'm not going to call her by name. If you've seen my content, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's all I'm going to say. She throws a little fit, a little turtle tantrum, if you will, and we're late as fuck to the theater. All right.
Oh, dear. Red
flag number 1. All right. We get there, and this is before AMC bought it, like I said, so it's not reserved seating. It's first come, first serve. It's back in those days. Mm-hmm. It's sold out for Suicide Squad, bro. Only the first 2 rows are available. It's 3 of us. We can't just spread out. I'm not doing that with my fucking mom. So we get our seats. My girlfriend at the time walks out of the fucking theater, dude.
Oh, no.
And expects me to chase her. So she missed about 25 minutes of the Suicide Squad. And I stood on that hill because when we saw The Force Awakens opening night, during Han Solo's death, she made a poor joke asking if I wanted a belly button piercing, and then pulled out her phone and started watching Supernatural during The Force Awakens during opening night.
Holy shit.
Awful. Should have walked on right then and there.
That is crazy.
So I was standing
Crimson red flag.
Yeah, Crimson.
I don't know if you
red,
hate these movies even more just because the experience is even worse.
So that being said, I'm like, we're here for Suicide Squad. If you fucked up Han Solo's death for me, not fucking this up for me. Boy, did I wish I followed her out of that theater, man. Awful fucking movie. Uh-oh. She comes in about 20 minutes deep, pissed off that I didn't follow her out of the theater kind of thing. Causes a scene while watching the movie. That's a whole other fucking thing. And so we leave after watching the monstrosity that it was. And I will never forget. I did not sleep that night. I stayed up and I stared at the ceiling. And the entire night long, I tried to justify why I didn't walk into that movie theater because Jared Leto was so fucking garbage as the Joker. And I was so upset with myself. It was an awful experience and god-awful fucking movie. And I'll never forgive anyone in that entire room. They're all fucked, in my opinion. Fuck Suicide Squad. Great soundtrack, though. I'm a hot tech. I actually like Rick Ross and Skrillex' Purple Lamborghini. I still listen to that shit. It's corny as fuck.
The Harley Quinn persona, but the other stuff is device. It's all good.
What's up, Andrew? Welcome to the stream, I guess, sir. Yeah, he said, "Yo, that sucks." Yeah, you're fucking telling me, dude.
I can't find one redeeming quality in that movie.
Interesting.
I can't find one redeeming quality. Maybe El Diablo.
That's it.
But his character was so underutilized, it pissed me off, man.
Good.
Yeah.
I'll just say, avoid anything by Darren Aronofsky, avoid anything by U-Ball, and avoid anything by Abrams.
Hey, no, we're friends of Uwe actually in the podcast, bro. Uwe was one of the best guest stars I've ever had on the show. Yeah,
I know, but I'm talking about his movies, not the person. He's a good friend
of Galaxy Film. We will always support Uwe Boll, dude. You know
That's
what?
Great.
His movies may not be objectively great, but dude has balls and believes in his vision. I will always respect that. He was one of the kindest guest stars we've had on the show, probably the most respectful one as well. And he was fucking funny as shit.
That was after he had told his fans to screw off, so he's come around. But
he's super nice.
He shouldn't have been a director.
Matter of fact, I don't know if you guys have looked at our website on galaxyofilm.com. We this is the last story, I promise. I'll pass the mic off to Johnny down here for a sec, or Curtis. I'll let you guys fight for it. But we have a testimony thing on the front page of the website. We got Stephanie Nadolny has a testimony on there. We got Karen Whitfield has one on there. Craig Miller. We got one from Uwe on there. Uwe went so above and beyond. He sent me a video of one, actually, dude. I fucking love this guy. Pull it up now if it would fucking load. Today, please. There we go. There.
Here is Uwe Boll, and it was a pleasure to be on Galaxy of Film. great podcast, and yeah, love it to come back. See you soon.
Fucking love that guy, dude. Next time I go to Germany, I'm hitting Uwe up.
That's
I want to work
awesome.
with that man one day.
That's very wholesome. I really like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, Uwe will never make the list of movies we hate, bro. I don't give a fuck. And Postal's funny as shit. If you don't think Postal's funny, you don't have a sense of humor. I'll stand by that
I
statement,
have
too.
a huge sense of
that
humor.
or Rampage.
I can't get into any of his movies. They're student films. Ben.
Oh, okay. Cat, bro.
Hey,
Cat.
man, it is what it
Holy
is.
Have you seen
Yeah,
Blood
bro.
Rain?
Yeah, see,
Have
we
you
did
seen
Postal with
House
Blood
of the
Rain that
Dead?
time, dude. Yeah.
I know. And they're not good.
They're fun, though, man.
Objectively or subjectively. Like, how
fun.
not to make a movie. Like, they're not even Mystery Science Theater level trashy. Like, it's... That music just grinds me to a halt every time. Where it's like, this is a just struggle just getting to the end.
Cam,
I've seen all kinds of shit.
I'm gonna we're gonna call Uwe right now. We're gonna
I don't care.
schedule the next boxing match, okay? He's about to take you into the ring for this one, buddy. I think we all know
Okay.
Uwe is a fucking fighter. Love it.
I know. Still doesn't make him right.
Awful. Curtis, give me a movie you hate, bro. You got the mic on this one, dog.
All right. So, Max, as you know, I'm a big animation person. I think it's a great medium of storytelling, and I think it needs to be respected more, especially here in the West. There's an adaptation as part of a fandom we don't talk about, and that's called The Last Airbender by M. Night Shyamalan. I hate that movie.
He got locked out of the editing room, and lo and behold,
I don't understand. For those who have seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, one of the best pieces of like storytelling media I have ever seen. Even as a cartoon for like kids, they do like a lot of very good like inner. Oh God, this movie makes me so angry. Okay. You take the concept, right? The concept of bending the at your fingertips and say, hey, Hollywood, give me millions of dollars, make me look cool. And you get a scene with 6 people moving a fucking rock the size of a fist. And they're like, oh, look how fucking cool you are. And they don't pronounce any names right. The effects look like dog shit. I don't remember a score. Fucking... I'm sure all the actors in real life are great. I'm sure they were super excited to come into this role, and if they were fans, even better.
Mm.
None of them were good. Fucking... They say Aang, they pronounce it Ong. And you're like, what is this? Some terrible... There's a line read by the guy who plays Sokka, and he goes, are you the Avatar? You're like, no redo on that? We're not going to do a fucking cut, reshoot? No? Okay, cool. They do the thing where, if you haven't seen the show, they don't reveal the main villain of the show until the last season. They have 2 seasons of build-up for this motherfucker, who's also voiced by Mark Hamill. So it's already awesome.
Have you seen the riff tracks commentary of this movie?
I have. And about maybe 35, 40 minutes into the movie, they're like, boom, here's the bad guy. And it's just a guy.
Yeah, he's just a guy. Yeah, I think it's
Just
like
a guy.
early. It's like 20 minutes in, and he's
And
just
it's
walking
bullshit
around.
because they introduce him, and in the background, there's a giant flag with the animated version of him that looks way cooler.
Wow. My aunt and uncle would usually pressure me to go to the movies, and that was one of the many white lies I said where I'm like, I'm unavailable today. And I admitted it after the fact. They were like, oh, you were wise.
Just the effects are bad. The scene with the Earthbender, because they move the Earth. In the show, they're captured and they're put onto a steel barge in the middle of the ocean. Because guess what? There's no Earth there. They can't do anything. Where's the prison camp in the movie? On fucking dirt. Surrounded by the goddamn thing. They could piss and shoot rocks out of their cock. But no, they decide some random person comes around, makes a speech of break free. Remember, you're earthbenders? Look, there's earth around you. And they're going, oh, there's earth around me. And they shoot a rock.
Say what you will about the Netflix adaptation, but like at least they got the bending right.
I have problems with the show. There's some good parts of the show. The bending looks good, and issues with it, but it's way better than the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking in the show, one earthbender can break the crust of the world and flip tanks. 6 people in the movie move a rock.
Like this big. It's like this. I remember it too. And they're all like going, doing a dance.
This big choreographed dance, and in the frame, I have a peanut butter jar here. Don't worry about it. Just coming around going, ooh. What is that? And they don't do anything. The guys who dance don't do anything.
Why are you doing
it's
this
one guy in the back who throws the rock at somebody. And you're like, cool. What was the dance for? Motivation? God. M. Night Shyamalan made one okay movie, and then he decided, you know what, I'm gonna make more movies.
He even had to go back to film school.
I do think that movie was okay.
I do love Signs. Signs is fantastic.
I like Signs. It's stupid.
About it.
It gets kind of stupid at the end, but it's interesting.
It's fun.
It took, when did Airbender come out? 2009? 2010. 2010.
Not to be confused.
I think it's 2008.
Right, so a year after the other movie named Avatar.
Yeah, we'll get to that one.
Oh, fuck Avatar, bro.
Hey, we're all trying to
also
restrain
don't like
ourselves.
Avatar.
If you want, I can go on a Mad Max rant, but no.
It's one of the greatest pieces of like storytelling in like an animated show, just a show in general. Very good defined characters. Literally all characters have like an arc to them. The soundtrack is gorgeous. All the voice actors do a phenomenal job. You feel real emotion through all of it. In the movie, there's none of that. It says the name.
Story. What story?
It's not even called Avatar. It's just called The Last Airbender. Because somebody must have been like, this is going to suck. And then they dare set up for a sequel movie. At the very end, they show Azula.
Every movie was doing that back then. To where it was
I know. And they show her, who's like literally my top 5, if not top 3, favorite villains in all of media. And they're like, oh, catch her in the next movie. That's definitely going to happen. And the movie bombed. And I hope everybody who worked on it never got a job again.
Pulled the golden compass on us. Yeah.
That's my rant. I don't like that movie.
I had an action figure of Aang from that movie, and as well as the weird, like, dog-looking Appa. I'll never forget that.
Sky Bison. You put respect on Appa's name.
Oh, dude. The action figure looked like a fucking dog, bro. It looked like a demented... Have you seen it?
He's a bison.
It didn't look as bad as the dogs in the 2000 Free Hulk. Oh my god.
That's a deep cut.
That's a 5-hour rant, so I'll spare you.
Yeah,
I had never seen my uncle and father so disappointed at a movie. You know, I'm 13. We're like, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be campy, whatever. My father's looking at his watch. My uncle, who usually is very forgiving about any junky sci-fi movie, is like shaking his head. And then for that 1 minute where he goes berserk at the end. Oh!
God, it's hideous.
That looks like a ton.
That was like a sheep.
Yeah.
Oh. If anyone's ever gonna watch The Last Airbender, watch the animated show. Just never.
There's Dakari's on it. Yeah.
Just. It took me, I think, 8 years to actually finish that movie.
Really?
Like, I would start it to be like, okay, I need to get through it. I need to see how bad it really is. Every time around the same point where the bending happens with the earthbenders, I would turn it off because I'm like, I am not that stupid. The kids who watch this show were not that stupid. I'm sure there's some kid stuff, but like, we understood the concept of what they were trying to do. I don't know what the fuck they were doing. Just another example of like, at least for me, it's the first example of like taking like an animated thing and just fucking bastardizing the shit out of it, which Hollywood continuing to do with like, now they're doing it with anime. Like they did it with, live action.
We were talking about Dragon Ball Evolution.
Dragon Ball Evolution, which is pretty close. When Dakari said it was like, the first thing on my list was that one, and then The Last Airbender.
Mm-hmm.
Just fucking,
I don't. How to make something incoherent.
Exactly. Like you can't follow the story.
You can't call it a movie.
It takes the movie, I shit you not, I think maybe half an hour for the 3 main characters, Aang, Katara, and Sokka, to learn each other's names.
Oh, God.
And they've been on screen for half an hour. They've
You've
talked.
never seen
They've communicated.
Sci-Fi Channel movies have had more budget. My God.
I swear. I'd rather watch like Robo Octopus versus Sharkzilla 15 than this goddamn movie again.
Puppet Master versus
Tornado.
Tall Man 5. Yeah.
Yeah, bro, it's like I've seen like fan stuff be like better. Even the Netflix live action, I have problems with it, but like there's some heart to like what they were doing. You tell these people were actually fans of the show and kind of wanted to do what the show was.
Yeah.
But I don't want Hollywood to like make adaptations because the reason it's animated and a show is because the story they wanted to tell only worked in like a seasonal fucking episode by episode story to cram like I think they did the first season in the movie. That's like maybe 12 or 18 episodes. I don't quite remember. Into like a 2.5 hour fucking movie. Hopefully, you understanding each character's motivation, why the way they are, why you should give a shit. And I'll stop my rant because I get very upset about this movie because it ruins literally one of the greatest pieces of like storytelling fiction ever. And I want it to be gone.
Yep.
Rant over.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I forget the movie exists sometimes, not gonna lie.
Good. Good.
Johnny, where are you at with this, bro?
Yeah, I got a couple of movies here, but I think the one that I fucking hate the most is the Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
Oh.
I fucking despise that movie. Fuck
They didn't
that
even
movie.
try. Oh my God.
No, they didn't
It's
try
like-
at all.
You want to talk about uninspired? Like, just look
Yeah.
at that fucking movie. Every single person that's on film does not want to be there. And one of the
Nancy Brown
biggest
X
fucking
Dangerous.
offenders is Runa Mara. She does not want to be there. She does not want to be there. And it's like, and it's obvious. Her fucking deadpan delivery. Man, dude, she
Wins my
it's
next
just obvious she doesn't want
Oscar.
to be there.
Yeah.
In the CGI, you fuck up the bathtub scene, you fuck up the wall scene. How do you fuck up so many good sequences from the original when the original only had like a budget of $1 million and that movie had a budget of over 50? Like, you mean to tell me that is the best you could fucking do? Are you fucking serious?
The money
And then
I
also,
guarantee-
Jackie Earl Haley is fucking shorter than our fucking final girl. They had to put him in still.
that is probably a
Like, it
Ponzi
doesn't even
scheme of a
pass the
movie.
Corman test. Like, are you serious?
It's tied with
That's why they
Okay.
had to film him at a low angle, and he's just like hovering. But if you watch it, there's a couple of scenes where Rooney Mara is towering over Jackie Earl Haley.
It's probably
That's
tied
not
with
scary.
It's probably tied with Rebel Moon as the perfect Ponzi scheme, where you're just looking at the budget, you're looking at the runtime, and nothing is justified. I'd tie it up there with The Irishman, where nothing here works.
There are some really good ideas in this movie. The micronaps, that was a really clever idea. I thought
Agreed.
that was really done well, especially in the convenience store, but they didn't follow through with that. I thought the implication of Freddy might be innocent was also another clever idea. There were
might not
just
be a
so many
pedophile. Yeah.
ideas that they had. They just did not follow through, and I'm just like, this is so fucking frustrating. Like, seriously, this is frustrating.
Mhm.
And none of the kills were even good.
No,
Like, it was all fucking CGI. And I hate CGI blood. I fucking hate it. That is one of the one things that I fucking hate. And it's all because of Midnight Meat Train. That movie ruined CGI blood. Also Ninja War. Like, fuck both those movies. Both those movies have a god-awful CGI blood.
fair enough.
But this movie, fuck Nightmare on Elm Street. I thought Jackie Earl Haley was honestly perfectly casted, but he was just in a bad fucking movie.
Agreed.
And that was your first choice. That motherfucker who fucking directed 5 Nirvana videos. That was your first fucking choice? That was your only fucking choice? Was that motherfucker who directed Nirvana videos?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, Brad Fuller. Fuck you, Michael Bay. Fuck
Yeah.
Platinum Dunes, okay? Fuck all you motherfuckers. It's because of you is why we can't get a new Freddy movie. because people don't think they can pull it off.
That would be a cool revival if they could figure out a way to like make Freddy work again, like for a new modern time.
I think that should be sold.
It's not impossible.
You know
it's just you got to get the right people on it. Like Mike
I
Flanagan's
would rather
gonna
they
be
make
doing.
another.
I agree. It should be a new thing, but
I think they should just make another Wishmaster. That's what I want. Enough of Freddy and Jason. They need to do a movie that people love, but they haven't given enough love.
Dude, you know what, John? You're gonna hate me for this, bro. You're really gonna hate me for
First
this.
two Wishmasters are kind of fire. I'm gonna lie.
The remake was how I was exposed to Nightmare on Elm Street. This is
Oh
my first entry,
my!
actually. Yeah, dude.
Wow.
On behalf of all Elm Street fans, dude, I'm sorry.
Oh, and also, we've mentioned this on the Johnny Depp podcast as well. I actually don't even like Nightmare on Elm Street, like, period. It's like my least favorite of the slashers, actually, dude. Hot take. I think the character's great. I'm not a fan of the films.
That is a hot take.
That second one is trash.
You don't like the second? I love the second one.
Oh, no, they find his glove in the furnace. Fuck that movie, dude.
Great.
The second one.
That's a good one.
The
third
The
one.
audio horror to that movie is fucking unmatched.
Oh, my God. Let's take a look at the comments section real quick. We got Brandon and Matt from Megapixel Productions going off about 21 Pilots because they were talking about the Suicide Squad soundtrack, which is great.
That is a good song.
Thank God I haven't watched The Last Airbender. Curtis is 100% right about everything related to the cartoon. Anyone mentioned Seed of Chucky? That movie sucks. Fuck Child's Play, dude. I can't watch Child's Play ever again.
Whoa, wait. The first one's
I think the first Child's Play.
Revisit.
I think the first Child's Play is a great movie. I can't watch the series, dude. I can't. When I was in a hospital at one point.
Awful, and the other sequels are bad.
Child's Play 2 is a fucking great sequel.
I'll never watch it, bro.
Child's Play 2 is.
It's alright.
It is the aliens. It is the T2 of that franchise, bro. I swear to God.
The kid
I swear
actor.
to God, it is.
I'll never watch him, bro. When I saw the remake in theaters because it was Mark Hamill, and I think, well, the remake isn't good. I think it's entertaining enough. It's funny hearing Mark Hamill say this is for Tupac. You know, it's pretty fucking funny. And then whenever
Han Solo.
Yeah. And then Dakari, you were around for this shit. When I was in the hospital at one point during Galaxy of Film stuff early on, and when I was there, bro, these motherfuckers had a marathon of all the Child's Play movies.
Bro.
And I wanted to, I was so upset. I was already depressed. I was literally there because I was trying to fucking off myself, and I just wanted to do even further, bro. I was like, this is what I gotta watch? I just bought the 4K from Shout Factory at home. I'm having to watch this shit on a 10-inch TV screen behind a plexiglass. I felt like I was in prison, bro. It was all of them. All fucking day. I was surrounded by people who were screaming and smearing their shit on the walls, and they're fucking going off about Chucky and shit. I was like, I'm never again doing it, bro. I broke the rule for the first one, so we could do Child's Play with Megan that came out last year. Never again. I think the first one's incredible. I really do. I think it's a solid movie. I own it physically. I'll never watch it again. I'll never watch the sequels. I'll never watch the show. Anything Chucky, anything Child's Play is tainted for me. I broke that rule once. I respect the first one. Don't eat the rest of them, dude. Don't eat them.
Yep,
So, yeah.
I agree.
I respect that.
Yeah. But, dude, yeah. Fucking Nightmare on Elm Street. That's how I was exposed to that shit, dude. Was that fucking remake.
Oh, boy.
Hey, man.
First Dragon Ball, now this. Don't understand.
Yeah,
That's crazy, bro.
Has everybody
crazy.
gone to talk about?
I have.
Will has not. Though.
Will hasn't.
Okay, Will.
So I like to be more positive about movies. I was almost hesitant to be on this episode.
You're on the wrong podcast.
I know. I was like, you know, as somebody who likes to create things and make short films, I understand how hard it is to make movies. But something every once in a while, man, there's just these movies that just nothing really works about them. And sometimes it's even worse when there are parts of a movie that do work, but it's held down by so many things that don't. And one of those movies for me, and we've done the episode on this show, The Flash. That is a movie that I watch it, and like when I first watched it, I was like, you know what, I kind of had a good time with it, but there's so many things wrong with it. And then the more you think about it, it just keeps falling apart. And the biggest takeaway that I had about that movie, and which is really what ends up happening with a lot of these superhero movies that truly suck, is that there's too many cooks in the kitchen, and it's this corporate monstrosity. That The Flash in particular was really disappointing because that was a movie that was in development for like over 10 years.
13 years, dude.
And like went through like 10 different directors at that point. And I when I was in high school, like The Flash was my all-time like favorite superhero. I loved reading the comic books, like the stuff from like the New 52. I read all those volumes every time he was in a cartoon or like in a Justice League book or whatever. It was awesome. I loved his character.
Were you watching the CW show?
Yeah, and then when the CW show came out, that was really holding me over because what was hilarious
is that movie, because you saw they were adapting Flashpoint, and you're like,
Well, so here's the thing. I really love the Flashpoint animated movie that they came out with like around that same time when the CW I think show started, a couple years before that. I think that's a really awesome storyline. Like the comic book itself is just okay, but it's the premise that's really cool. Yeah, and this movie, as soon as they announced Michael Keaton is going to be returning as Batman, I was so fucking mad because the whole point of that comic book, it isn't, oh, this is a multiverse story where we're going to go see like characters from other pre-established things that you recognize. That's not what that original story was about. It was about the Flash screws up the timeline and ruins everybody else's lives, including Batman's. Like Bruce Wayne is dead, and it's his father, Thomas Wayne, takes over as Batman. And that is such a cool idea. And say what you will about the the Snyderverse stuff, but Zack Snyder had the foresight to cast the guy who plays Negan,
Jeffrey D. Morgan.
Jeffrey D. Morgan. He knew that like at some point we might do Flashpoint. We're gonna have Thomas Wayne as Batman, and dude, that would have been so awesome if Jeffrey Dean Morgan was able to play that role.
And I'm glad you mentioned that real quick. Well, sorry to interject, but like, and even obviously we mentioned 10 different directors, so many years of production. Even as late as like 2018, 19, Jeffrey Dean Morgan was posting about this still. About wanting to do the film, especially when Walking Dead was kind of slowing down, kind of thing.
Just like his Supernatural co-star is always like, "Make me the Red Hood, Jensen Ackles. I want to be the Red Hood."
Oh yeah.
Well, he voices Red Hood at least, and the same animated stuff.
And Batman.
They got great ideas.
And what really is so annoying about that movie is they replace this storyline with one that they try to fit in Michael Keaton's Batman, and it literally means nothing. Yeah. It means literally nothing to this plot. It's just jingling keys in your face and going like, "Hey, remember this? You remember this? You remember that?" And that's it. It doesn't tie in with the overall theme and story. And
Supergirl actress, I thought she was awesome. The only good thing
she was pretty cool, and like she didn't really get much to do.
Movie, like a whole different movie. And when that person is just giving it their all, regardless of all the other bullshit, directing, green screen, whatever, is like, see, that's the kind of person I want versus someone who's only as good at what they're being told or how they're scripting it.
Yeah, and the final act of that movie, because the thing is that there are moments sprinkled in where Ezra Miller, as terrible as they are as a person, and that's a whole other can of worms. But like
we're in purgatory right now, I feel.
Yeah, their acting is still good in this movie. There are moments where it's genuinely funny and genuinely heartfelt. Yeah, it's genuinely heartfelt sometimes. But then you have this final act, dude. First of all, they couldn't get a Flash villain to actually be in this movie. They create some OC character.
Where it's using AI.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're using AI for fucking Michael for Adam West, Batman. And
I actually knew about the George Clooney cameo before I went there. And
me too.
I shocked the shit out of my sister, and she's like, "How did you know?" I'm like, "I've been paying attention to all
again another useless cameo."
Yeah, it doesn't serve anything, and it looks like he's like, "Tee, that'll be $400 million."
And yeah, the whole final act of just like, here, we're gonna go into the ugliest CGI you've ever seen in your life, and I can't believe they tried to pass that off as like being on purpose. One second.
Through his vision.
they keep saying, like the director was saying, like, oh yeah, the CGI looks bad on purpose. It's because he's in this other dimension. He's in this other dimension where he's looking at people from his perspective. That's why it has that fake look.
What?
And then I know that this is complete horse shit, because then when I go see Aquaman 2, they have the exact same character models for Jason Momoa, and it looks just as bad. I'm like, oh, are you going to say that that's on purpose too? That's why the CGI is so terrible?
Yeah.
And again, this has nothing to do with the actual artists, the visual effects workers that were behind this. They were probably overworked. This movie was rewritten. This movie was rewritten 100 times. They couldn't decide on what they were going to do, who was going to be cameoing at the end. Instead of just making a movie and having that core aspect of Barry Allen has to fix the timeline. He has to let go of his mother and set things straight. That is where there was a good movie in there. But instead, you had all these corporate. They wanted to reboot the universe, replace Ben Affleck with Michael Keaton, and they completely lost the plot. And that's a movie. Yeah.
You guys have all been on a set. You see how long it takes processing stuff, everything. I feel like that's what they're doing. Millions of dollars later, they're like, "Oh, we'll just turn it out now." I'm like, "It's not ready to process. It still needs 15 extra hours."
Yeah, and this movie suffers for it.
Look like shit.
Yeah, and it's such a shame because now the Flash is probably never going to get another solo movie again because that movie fucking tanked, and it deserved.
That's true.
It deserved to tank. It was a bad movie, and
that's
I want
bad versions of otherwise good stuff, and it ruins it. It's the same thing with Spawn and everything.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
yeah, we'll never see a good Flash
character.
I don't know, man. You might be alone here. I enjoyed that.
I like the Flash too. I like parts
great,
of it.
But I liked it.
Fine. We're all mature here.
I hear what you're saying, Will, and I 100% agree. It's a terrible Flashpoint movie. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Terrible adaptation of Flashpoint. I wish it was Thomas Wayne. But as well, whenever they were talking about Michael Keaton being attached, I remember at one point it was supposed to be Michael Keaton and Jeffrey Dean Morgan still. It was supposed to be both of them. It was supposed to be a Flashpoint mixed with the multi. And I think that would have been even worse, to be honest with you. I'm glad we didn't get that shit. And I do wish we had Jeffrey Dean Morgan over Michael Keaton, as much as I do like the Michael Keaton stuff in that movie. But yeah, like I think the Flash is a smart origin story. I think it is a terrible original. The whole OC character is awful. I agree. But I think using a second Flash and the Paradox to tell the origin story is very smart.
Yeah, exactly. There's little plot mechanics like that were actually really clever.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that it gets completely undermined, particularly by the final act. When now it's just like we're retreading Man of Steel. We're bringing back what's his name as General Zod. And he doesn't. Michael Shannon, and he doesn't want to fucking be there. You could tell he's like glazed eyes over, and he's just like, "Fuck, whatever, I'm here, whatever." And there's no effort. There's no to actually make him cool like how he is in Man of Steel.
The CGI in that fight's atrocious too.
Yeah, and nobody does anybody really
Rebel Moon, dude. It's just like, where did the money go? Where did the money go?
It's
because every filmmaker has a good movie and a bad movie in them, except you, Ball.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Max.
You're crazy, man. You're crazy.
Nope. I've actually seen his work. And
I have too, man. I've met the man. We love him. We love Uwe Boll here, bro.
Yep. But yeah, that is.
I will put. If you want me to pick Russian Roulette or U-Ball movies, I'm picking the gun barrel every time. Anyway.
Crazy.
Anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, that is. I gotta say, that movie was just a huge disappointment to me in a lot of ways, and that's why I hate it. Not because it's the worst movie of all time, but it just it screwed up so many things when it could have been one of the best superhero movies of all time.
I'm tempted to ask you what is the worst comedy of all time, because there's all the competition. There's Ishtar, there's Norbit, there's Freddy Got Fingered, there's all kinds of.
I do hate Freddy Got Fingered. That's Tyler's favorite movie of all time.
Yeah. I'm friends with Bad Movies Rule, and they usually don't have a ban list. Everything's up for grabs. They've already said that we will never cover that. We walked out of it back in the day. We refused to rewatch it. There's no doing it on any bad movie show. I just about every podcast refuses to do it. They're just like,
I lost brain cells watching that shit.
Daddy, would you like some
I saw it on
sausage?
edited TV, and I knew something was off. It's like, this looks like an SNL skit edited together, and it's not. It's gross, but it's not funny. It's
What the hell is it called, Freddy?
The worst comedy I've
Don't know.
I don't
worst
know.
comedy I've ever seen.
I don't know. I do not know. I wish I knew. Well, no, I don't wish I knew. But I. But like Ishtar, Ishtar should be funny, and you're just like, I'm not sure who I hate more. The fact that everyone was just. When people play around, it shows. And as you guys have shown in all your movie picks, they're all great examples of too many cooks in the kitchen and everyone taunting or bullying each other and editors not knowing what to do with themselves and just saying, what am I doing with my life?
Margaret, have you seen The Flash or Freddy Got Fingered or any of these fucking movies?
Not really.
Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong,
I'm
you
so
got the
behind
worst
with
one out of the
movies.
bag, but
Give us another, Margaret. Feel free to
Okay.
give us another film, another movie that's on your list.
Okay, so I like right before we started filming, I was saying I was like, oh my gosh, there's a movie that I'm forgetting about. And I can't remember what it is, but it's like the worst movie I've seen, and I couldn't remember what it was. But everybody talking about anime adaptations, you just jogged my memory. Death Note 2017. Have you guys seen it?
I heard bad things about it. Doesn't William Dafoe do it?
Oh shit!
Oh my gosh. Okay. I still have not finished that movie. I've seen like bits and pieces. It's so bad. So I mean, first off, the issue, it's like super whitewashed. They hired Nat Wolff as Light,
Yep.
who I'm sure he's so bad. And then
There's so many bad
Mark
producers don't
Foley.
realize that. I'm like, guys, that's racist. Don't do it.
Hold on
Yeah,
one
it's
sec, one
like-
sec. Sorry to interrupt Matt, or not, excuse me, Christ.
Oh.
Sorry to interrupt Margaret. Matt just texted me telling me to read his comments real quick. Hold on.
No, because now you asked. No.
The dimension, I think,
Okay.
because it's abstract construct, running, CGI babies, and oh yeah, the CGI babies are fucking weird. The Flash, I think it's bullshit. They fired Ray Fisher as a cyborg for speaking out. Fuck yeah, that was. We've
That
gone
was-
into
That was
all
that was
that,
so
dude.
good.
He was actually supposed to be a big proponent of that movie. He was actually originally a big part of that movie.
And then Derek Lyons said, "Wait, no Norbit disrespect." I know that's right too, buddy. But Margaret, keep going on. Sorry for interrupting. I just had to go ahead and show some in the comments.
No, that's okay. So Death Note, the anime, I feel like when people are like anime, they've seen like every anime. I've only seen a few animes. I've seen Death Note and Bleach and a couple others. But Death Note is like one of the best shows ever. Like in my opinion, it's like probably like in my top 10 best shows I've ever seen in my life. It's so good. And they just like destroyed it completely. Like in the show, Light is like this completely insane genius criminal mastermind, and they just made him like this stupid
goof.
simp who's like just obsessing over Margaret Qualley, who is just like the super. She's good in like some stuff. Like one of my all-time favorite movies is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and she's like really good as like the weirdo, creepy, crazy hippie girl. But it's just like the epitome of it's like very CW, and it's just like it would be a bad movie on its own, but once you've seen the show and see how genius it is, it's just like why. The only good part of it was Willem Dafoe as
Ryuk,
the guy.
correct. That's
Yes,
the
Ryuk.
only correct
And-
answer.
But like you say,
yeah,
people
yeah,
who aren't researched, they will just look up the first title that comes
Yeah.
up, and it's an infamous crappy adaptation. I've done this with
Yeah.
many book adaptations that people thought were good and critics thought were even good, and it's just like, if you read the book, you realize
Yeah,
this is
like,
just a
I hate-
generic
I
movie
hate-
with good actors. It's just
yeah. I hate the Coraline movie. I love
Really?
the book.
Whoa.
yeah.
really?
I mean, it's not a
Never
bad
saw it out at
movie.
Tim Burton
It's
by
just,
then.
it's just lame compared to the book. The book is a lot creepier, and it's very British.
Yeah,
And they
because
just
it's
like water.
is
like,
it
it's a
the-
Is there ever
movie.
such a thing as
I-
too British?
No, I
Yeah.
love British
Joking.
people.
I'm
I love
just
them.
doesn't the book have a lot more to do with her
Like-
friend that's with her? I forget his name, the little guy.
I like how Forrest Gump is a douche in the book, and they make him likable and dumb in the movie.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember.
I
I haven't read the book in a while,
I will Google him.
but
Google him, yeah.
I've heard of.
Google
I've heard
it.
that somebody just did a set the other day about how the Forrest Gump book is like essentially a porno. I'm like, now I want to read it.
It
Oh man.
Is it-
kind of is.
Is it
He's
witty?
He's just very perverted. Like he's saying all the douchey things that douchey guys say that are
Oh my
on their mind,
gosh.
and you're like,
Oh, wow.
okay, Forrest, too much information, asshole. Back
Oh
to
my
serving
gosh.
in the
Yeah,
army.
the Godfather book, because I'm like a huge Godfather fan, so I've read the book like a million times. There's like a graphic, like 5-page description about how giant Sonny Corleone's dick is, and about how him and Lucy
I
Mancini,
forgot
the
about
girl
that.
he's like banging at. Yes, the girl he's
I
banging at the
remember
wedding.
mainly
and-
just there was more of the assassins. There's like one chapter just dedicated to him doing a hit. You're like, that would not work as a movie.
Yeah, yeah. The book has a lot more detail in it, but and then there's also the detail that his mistress Lucy has something wrong with her pelvic floor, so she's like this giant vagina. She almost kills herself when she does attempt suicide after Sonny gets whacked because she'll never find a dick that big again. And then she has to
Doesn't
get
make
surgery
any
on her
sense.
vagina.
What?
And then so then she has to get surgery on her
Right?
vagina to make it tight. Hashtag men writing women. The epitome of that, so that she'll be able to have a sexually
Dakari
satisfying
wants to
life
say
and sex
something.
with her doctor.
No, I don't. I have my hands
Okay.
up.
Nope.
I'm just like,
The Godfather.
Oh, sorry.
book
Okay.
is good though.
I'm glad you brought that up because I've gotten in many a conversation with people who just want everything to be like the book. I'm like, well, there's a reason it's a movie and not a book. You know, like,
Oh,
Time to Kill is a
read
good book, but it would not be theatrical if we saw where Sam Jackson's character, Edwards, got the gun, snuck into the courtroom. It would decry all the suspense. And I had to get in an argument one time with this person. Like, it doesn't work as a movie. That's boring. I have to cut that
I
chapter
read
out.
the Jaws book last summer.
a
I
great
read the
book.
Jaws book last summer. It's so bad.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. It's
Daniel
terrible.
and John have
It's
told
so
me
terrible.
about that. And
It's
Piranha
it's literally.
adapted the politician arc of that book. And it's like, this is what would happen if the crooked mayor got eaten.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I was just like,
It wouldn't work as a movie.
the second Matt Hooper shows up in the book, it just like completely goes way different, and it's very men writing women.
Brody's wife is cheating on him just because, and you're like, why do guys like to just develop characters and just make them shitty for no reason? It makes you. It's just a lazy opposing force, It's like if you see a crappy doctor show and there's just a doctor who's a douche for no reason. It's like, well, that's just a plot. Now you're a plot device. You're not a complex character who's a dick,
Yeah.
I don't know why they do that. Just develop them.
Yeah, I have a video on my YouTube channel about the Jaws book. It's like I was reading. I'm like, this is.
But yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, it was so anticlimactic too. It was just. I know Max hasn't seen Jaws yet, so I don't want to
Jaws 4.
Too many
you guys should
spoilers.
watch Jaws 4 because not only is it.
Oh, that movie is fucking so bad. Oh my god.
Did you know
that
in the Did you know that in the adaptation to make it even more convoluted, they explained that the reason this shark knows where Brody's family is because some black voodoo, which is already a racist 80s thing, spell was cast on it and it can sense it.
Hell yeah.
I'm like, what the hell?
Okay. They should have just made a different movie about like
just
an
have
evil
it just
demon
be
shark that
magic. Just make it be a
voodoo
Hellraiser
shark.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Mario Van Peebles and Michael Caine. But hey, the latter got a matching. So
I'm about to say he got a house out of it, so
he got a house.
Good for him. He deserves it.
Mario went back to LA Law.
I love that Michael Caine quote of like people ask him, "Have you seen Jaws 4?" He goes, "Nope." Saw the house that bought me. I was like, "Hell yeah, Michael Caine, get your bread."
Bought a great house. I got an Oscar for Hannah and her sisters the same year. My life is complete.
I was watching some interview with. I actually just randomly came up on TikTok. It was a clip of Harrison Ford on one of the Star Wars red carpets, and they asked him what he'd do if they ever made another holiday special. Yeah, they asked him what he'd do if they ever made another holiday special, and he said, "I'd kill myself."
Hell yeah!
Holiday special's incredible. I don't know what anyone's talking about, dude. We're having a watch party of that. I have no clue what you just said.
It's amazingly bad. Don't you dare.
Yeah, it's it's one of those movies that's bad.
It's what they torture
fun to
Sith
watch.
Lords and Jedi
Like-
with.
Repeat that, Mark. I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, Cam,
I
I'm
said,
real quick. You gotta let her talk. It's like every 10 seconds you're like talking over her. You gotta
I'm the worst.
let her keep saying everything she's gotta say. You know.
It's okay. I said start the holiday special. It's bad, but it's so entertaining.
Oh my
But
goodness.
it's they have their robes and they're going to the Wookiee Illuminati meeting, and then Chewie's wife is banging Art Carney behind Chewie's back, and then Mark Hamill is right after his accident, and the poor man, they put so much makeup on him, he looks like Uncanny Valley Mark Hamill.
I
and I
think
feel
it was
bad saying
before
that 'cause
his
it's,
accident.
It was
I
right
thought it was
before.
after.
It was right before.
Yeah,
I
he
think.
has a
Okay,
wig
then
on, though.
okay, he looks Uncanny Valley, so that I feel a little less bad saying that.
Yeah.
Because
Now,
his
Carrie, she
accident,
is
I feel
coked
bad.
up.
Oh yeah.
You know, she's beautiful though.
We
I
had a
love her so
watch
much.
party
Yeah.
for the holiday special. My friends
Yes,
at
we did.
Nick's house, the Nuggets house. We were watching a projector and everything. And I'll never forget it. One of my good friends, Colin, as well. Dakari also met Colin too. Funny enough. We're watching the holiday special. Nick pepper sprayed Colin straight in the face in the middle of this fucking movie. Incredible.
For what? Why?
Just felt like it.
Okay.
Okay. And I hope you expected some repercussions from that.
Oh, I mean, you met both of these people, dude. It was fucking hilarious. He pulled up to a Walmart to get Colin some eye drops to take care of him because we're like, oh, it's pepper spray burning. You need some milk, not water, right? So we go to the fridge. Nick pawned his refrigerator. It's not there. So we're like, okay, let's go get some fucking milk and eye drops for Colin. Get in the car. We get in the car. We go to Walmart. Colin's screaming at Nick over the whole thing, right? He's like, you motherfucker, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. Nick gets so mad at Colin. He's like, you yelling at me? I'll fucking stab you, motherfucker.
Oh.
Wait, so who pepper sprayed who?
Nick pepper sprayed Colin.
Okay. Okay.
Insane.
I'm not as mad about it as I was earlier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, has everybody got another movie?
Oh yeah, I got one.
Let's
Yeah,
hear the
I
next
got one.
guys.
I got one.
Okay, Zuko hasn't talked in a while. Come on, Zuko. Yeah, what do you got?
I want to say my piece on this. I don't know how many of y'all are Sopranos fans, but the Many Saints of Newark is a bunch of fucking bullshit, man. That is a pile of shit. What
Was
the
that
fuck was he thinking, dude?
Was that the prequel
That
or something?
motherfucker totally forgot his own fucking story.
Yeah, that was some
He
dog
totally
shit.
forgot his own characters.
I told it on
That
Max's
is-
episode. I'll tell it to you, and I'm sure you would agree. Why are they so obsessed with the war when they worry only about their own wars, not what's going on in society?
And this was supposed to be Dickie Moltisanti's, his coming out party. This was supposed to, highlight him. But it doesn't. All it does is cuck him. That's all it does.
Yes. Good.
And why the fuck is fucking Christopher narrating this movie? He wasn't even born!
And yes, and why?
What?
Why does Tony's mom sound like Edie Falco? It's like the actress studied the wrong role, and you're like, wrong character. It'd be like if I was doing an Obi-Wan performance, but I studied Anakin instead.
Oh
what?
my god.
Yeah. I fucking hated this movie. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. And then Tony Soprano only has 5 minutes worth of screen time. And it's supposed to be his origin story to be coming made.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is going on here, dude? David Chase admitted a year after the movie, said, yeah, I probably should have rewatched the series because I totally forgot all these characters. Yeah, he did an interview with Collider saying that, yeah, I should have rewatched the series. I fucked up. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Really?
Really? You should pull
And that's-
a George Lucas himself as someone else who actually is good.
I've seen some people say they're like. Oh wait, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Wait.
You're good.
Oh, okay. I've seen some people say that their headcanon to why it's the timeline's all wonky and stuff is that it's Christopher's movie that he's writing in because he's not, wasn't very smart. He's got to.
I saw that
Christopher's
theory
got some
too, and I
issues.
said bullshit.
Yeah.
I said bullshit.
Yeah,
You're just trying to cop out, man. You're trying to justify why you made a shitty movie. Like, nah, dude. I'm sorry. Like
that's like the writing equivalent of the director of The Flash saying the CGI looked bad on purpose.
Yes. It's like they don't even read their bullshit excuse. They're just like, well, I tried.
We did the mini stints in Newark, I think with Goodfellas in the podcast, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Way back then. And myself and Danilo had not seen the mini stints or any of Sopranos before. That was our one and only exposure was the mini stints of Newark.
Yeah.
I will not be watching the Sopranos because of that.
How dare you?
No,
don't let it dampen. It's like it's the best show. It is. It's like it's like kind of a dark comedy. It's oh my god.
It's ruined.
Here's a hot take. Here's a hot take. Sopranos overrated.
Thank you.
The last season is garbage. I will give you that. But it's also not in my top.
It falls off mid-season 3 and can never recapture what made it special.
I like season 4, but
that's
I will give you. I'll give you this: the fans are toxic because they act like it's the only good HBO show. It's like no, not even close. There's Tales from the Crypt. There's The Wire.
Yeah, I had to get off Facebook because I kept getting into it with Soprano fans. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up.
And I would even link other movies or shows that had those actors, and they would keep removing it. The admins were total Hitlers. It's just like, dude, it's related. Oh, well, I only want you to post a meme related to the show. Well, I don't have any memes. You've been posting all those fucking memes.
Jesus, you just compared Soprano fan base to Nazis?
They're bad, dude. Hellraiser fans are bad. Star Wars fans, I know we've all gotten into it.
Yeah, we're bad.
Can we just all agree that fandom, like any fandom, is bad?
Star Trek used to be
not necessarily. No.
Yes,
Dragon Ball fandom isn't that bad.
No, they're just virgins.
I didn't say every fandom was bad. I'm just listing off the biggest offenders.
Dragon Ball fan.
I'm a wrestling fan, and so I see a lot of toxicity, man. And I'm just God damn, dude.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't see this much toxicity in like any other fandom ever. It's like, dude, it's not that serious. Like, come on.
Oh my gosh,
it's crazy.
Oh, the Mad Max.
Tribalism is real, man.
You said the Mad Max fandom? Okay, dude, calm down. There's not.
It's really not that. It's not that bad. I haven't had any experiences with the Mad Max.
I've had some guys be assholes. You don't think it's good? You suck. Yeah, well, you suck.
No, I had more bad experiences with the Star Wars fan base. Don't even get me started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but because what Mad Max fandom is there, dude? Respectfully, like I like Mad Max.
Here's the thing that I wish I
only seen Fury Road. All right, go ahead.
Here's the thing that I wish I would have said on the podcast, and I'm fucking kicking myself. And I wish I fucking said it because I'm so mad that I didn't. That Mad Max has such a niche fan base that is why it is struggling. It is not like a popular IP like Star Wars or Marvel or DC.
Mm-hmm.
Mad Max only appeals to a niche fan base. The only reason Mad Max Fury Road did so well.
Furry.
Freudian slip. The only reason that movie did so well was because of word of mouth. Word of mouth and Facebook. And that is why that movie exceeded expectations. Furiosa does not have that same
Godzilla's kind of similar.
Clout.
Yeah, I think it's mostly that the Furiosa came out like 10 years later than it should have. You know what I mean? Like that should have came out.
And it came out during Memorial Day.
Maverick came out 30 years after the fact. Like I don't think you could use that as a.
Fury Road was the one that like made people like actually pay attention to it and like was a huge hype thing. It would have probably done it. I mean, that is true, but also Thunder.
It was like a Fast and Furious.
Thunderdome was also like not good. But
no, it's fine. In a way, I think you're right. I think it is word of mouth, but I think it's also just timing. Like, I think it was also just how George Miller goes, "Oh, it's a reboot, but it's actually a sequel." So that confused some people, I think. It's like, well, which is it? Well, you can't tell me. It's like with James Bond. It's a version of the character, but the continuity's really fucked.
But moving things back to movies that we hate, we did mention Star Wars. We did mention Star Wars very briefly, and I have to say this is the one other movie that I did like while in the movie theater. Unlike The Flash, where it was like, there are certain things here that I like. Rise of Skywalker is not one of those movies.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
God damn it.
Rise of Skywalker
I can get with that.
is... I think it's the worst Star Wars movie by far.
You know what it's better though than Will? It's 10 times better than this fucking movie.
Hey, fuck you. No, it ain't.
Hey.
Get the fuck out of here.
You
No, it's
confused
not.
bullshit.
I don't
That's
know.
wrong.
He's been
stop.
sitting on that for a
Stop it
minute,
right
dude.
now.
He's been sitting on that. You've been trying to do that shit all night.
Jedi has played a mind
forgive
trick
you,
on
Max. I forgive you, Max. You know, you've had, it's been a busy, tough time for everybody. You watched Dude 2 at a rough patch.
Perhaps you mean Into the Spider-Verse?
It's I forgive you, buddy. We could be friends still. It's all right.
Perhaps you means Challenger.
Dune 2 is next up on my list, but keep going, you little Rise of Skywalker rant. Okay, fuck boy, I got you coming right back at you. Trust me.
If you can only watch it with tracks, and even that's not helping.
But Rise of Skywalker, dude. This movie is absolutely just
A masterpiece.
This story, just from beginning to end, is a complete fucking disaster. Everything about it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
You can tell that it was, it's probably like I could come up with a better final act.
Get away!
Tying together. What is that? Hey, that's I really love that design for the character. Cool. I love her lightsaber, and I don't know why they have to give her the new lightsaber in the last 2 seconds, where she doesn't get to do anything with it. Wouldn't have been cool if she had that earlier in the movie or something. But yeah, just poor usage of characters, like you just mentioned, Lando. This movie undoes everything that the previous film had established, which really makes it just like not cohesive as the end of a trilogy. Let alone the end of the 9-film saga. And
take it back, Max. I would watch a U-Ball movie over the new sequel trilogy.
There you go.
I can't side with you on that.
You gotta respect the compliment.
I can't win with Max.
I can't, man. Yeah, I can't acknowledge it when you can't say his name right. It's Uwe.
Is it Uwe?
When it comes to German, a W is like a V. It's 2 V's.
I'm Irish German, so I can do it.
We'll do it then.
So you will watch a movie like
I usually call him cool.
You will watch a movie like In the Name of the King versus Force Awakens. You'll watch that over Force Awakens.
This is like comparing a bunch of dumps to one dump. I lose either way. But I'm just trying to hit Max over the head.
No, I'm just giving you shit.
This is not a good trilogy.
Yeah, but
I would not watch either of these.
As many problems that I have with The Last Jedi, I still think that The Last Jedi is a movie.
It is an actual movie.
It is a film created by a
watchable movie. I will give you that. Okay.
It takes risks in a way that I respect, even though I might not have been. If it was me, I wouldn't have made these decisions. But as somebody who respects, people making creative decisions over completely corporate mandated ones, like The Rise of Skywalker, and I also hate Disney's attitude where I
will
rightfully
watch the holiday
so.
special over The Last Jedi.
Honestly,
let him finish.
But I just think that I mean, The Last Jedi does things like it sets up Kylo Ren to be the villain in the final act, the final film, and I think that was a brilliant idea. I also thought another brilliant idea was that Rey is nobody. She isn't tied or related to anybody. The whole idea of anybody can be a hero. You don't have to be the son of Luke Skywalker or blah 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 blah. It's not a dynasty. It's just anybody can do this, and that is the rules of this universe for. I mean, there's no Skywalkers running around in the old Republic. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not a thing. We
there
could
are no
start
rules.
fresh.
That's why it's bad.
So but of course, you have a mob of angry loser nerds online, freaking out about stupid shit and not like actually critically analyzing the film.
Which I analyzed it.
That's fine, but there's a lot. You have to admit, there's a lot of like toxic.
I completely agree, but they were doing that.
I don't like a lot of. Yeah, but there are two sides.
They were acting like the prequels had the worst acting, but they would act like, oh, the scruffy nerf herder line isn't bad. I'm like, no, it's pretty terrible.
We got to be consistent. We got to try to not be super biased.
We're not consistent.
Like, but they, instead of doubling down on your creative choice, they instead decided to play the safe route by trying to appeal to everyone and then losing everybody at the same time. So we're gonna try to do fan service. Yeah, we're gonna try to do fan service. So we're gonna bring back the villain, Emperor Palpatine, even though that's an example of
undue
bad fan service, where you're trying to bring back something for nostalgic value, but it undercuts and undermines everything that has come before it in terms of the story. It makes the accomplishments of our previous heroes and past trilogies completely fucking pointless and useless. And then you go and
the actors are good at other stuff. It's not. I don't feel anything in these movies.
Yeah, and they completely waste all the characters. Poe and Finn. Yeah, they get really nothing interesting to do. And and Kylo Ren, of course, just wasted as a villain. Just to
Adam's great at other stuff.
Yeah.
Now, so Max, do you think he's worse than that or Ferrari?
Oh, Ferrari is good. He
Yeah.
doesn't have the role.
I just had to bring it up for you.
Yeah, Adam Driver is the best thing to come out of
He's
the
a good
sequel
actor.
trilogy.
I'm just
Agreed. He carried those fucking last 3 movies.
Yeah, I'll say this: as much as a disappointment as Kylo Ren, Ben Solo, whatever it is, and as Skywalker, I think it's even a bigger disappointment with Poe Dameron, dude. I think that was a failed setup completely.
I agree, but I don't remember that name. They just are like, oh, he died. Oh, he's actually alive.
Hot take, dude.
Okay.
Yeah. I wish Poe was the protagonist of the whole trilogy.
It'd be more better than all this Jedi crap they put themselves into a corner with.
Interesting.
I think if you had just kept the Jedi stuff with Rey,
squadron.
Like you can keep it as it is, but downscale it a bit and
like
really
Rogue One,
focus on the Leia and Poe relationship, and kind of because we have this 30-year gap, right? And Star Wars is all about filling in the gaps at this point. And I grew up with the prequels.
And then killing them off.
I love them. They're flawed, okay? And I can recognize that. The prequels are 10 times better because of the Clone Wars, right? They filled that gap in. And now that we're here, filling in this gap after the trilogy's ended, between Return of the Jedi and the sequels, now we can appreciate this trilogy 10 more years down the line, right? It's that generational effect. When the kids love the kids that grow up with it will love it eventually. That's when that gap is filled.
Right. It got back into being a toy commercial when it should have just been fun.
But then we have this whole thing where with Poe has this great step in Last Jedi. And I think that's the only good thing Last Jedi does, in my opinion. And that's the whole debate I'm saving from when we actually discuss the sequels on the whole episode, because we haven't gotten to this yet. But like,
that'll be fun.
If we had built upon that relationship and focused on the New Republic stuff, we wouldn't need that gap to be filled in. I think really if we had honed in on that, the Rey stuff can be set the same. Outcome, whatever, debatable if you like it or not. But if we had just upped Poe, cut some Rey stuff for them to be her to be a supporting character, I think Finn could be the same regardless. But I think Finn should have died in Last Jedi, and that's the whole thing. And that's the whole argument it's on too.
It's a hot take.
I think is wasted.
Just have one character. Don't have a dozen new characters that you have to
I
follow.
agree. I do agree with that. I think we need to slim down casts in a lot of these movies. Like you just have so many useless people that you don't have anything to do. Just put them all.
And like
in
Marvel,
character.
they hire people who aren't familiar with it, so it's just like, okay, that's like teaching a baby how to fly. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
There's someone who's a fan.
Go on, Margaret.
I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but my least favorite part of the entire sequel is fucking Laura Dern.
I hate Laura Dern. Yeah.
She's a good actress, but yeah, it's a wasted role.
Okay.
I'm like, why is she and Benicio here?
Not to sound like sexist or anything, but her character was just such a bitch the entire freaking movie. I was like, why am I supposed to care about her? I thought she was gonna turn on them because she was being such a fucking bitch to Poe the entire movie. I had no caring for her, and then they gave her that big dramatic death. I think they should have given that to Admiral Akbar, who's actually, because they had him randomly die at the beginning of that movie, and he's been with us since Return of the Jedi. He's like an important character. He's somebody that we know and we love. Like that should have given to somebody that we cared about. I did not give a single fuck about Laura Dern, and actually I saw that opening night in the theater, and the guy in front of me laughed when she blew up. It was great. It was fantastic.
Yeah, the whole thing with that. I have one. Can I? Yeah, like because I absolutely agree with you because it's all undermined by the fact that her plan is fucking stupid.
Right.
Her plan to save everybody is to just use the escape pods. That's the whole plan that she was being a bitch about. Like, oh Poe, how dare you ask me what my plan is? I'm gonna use my escape pods, and then the fucking the First Order is so incompetent that they have cameras watching them, and they can't see that a bunch of escape pods just left this ship that's like 5 feet in front of them. So yeah, like I that's why everybody always hyper fixates on the Lightspeed drive like crash thing. I think that scene looks fucking cool. I don't care.
Is like that's not a problem. We're talking about the other stuff, like Luke sacrificing himself. Why do you do that? It
not
doesn't
even
change
really
anything.
that much. It's just like but yeah, I agree with you completely that her whole character falls flat because her plan. It only makes sense if she actually has a good plan, and it's a terrible plan. And the movie pretends
it's like if Hans
it.
Gruber blew everybody up and said, "Oh, I don't actually want to steal any money."
Oh, dude, I'll up you one more, Margaret, real quick. I hated Last Jedi so much and Laura Dern's character. I refused to watch Jurassic Park until last year, finally.
Oh wow!
I don't like
the original one.
I just don't like her.
You've never seen it at all?
Not until last year. But I can't stand her in that movie either. I can't stand her, period.
I know, I don't like her. I mean, I love Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park and I are the same age, but Laura Dern is a no. I mean, I love Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum.
I hate her,
like everybody else in that movie. Jesus.
Wow. And if you've ever seen Marriage Story with also Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, incredible movie. I think it's Brandon's like favorite movie of all time, which we need to get him in therapy for that. But like, I hate her in that movie, dude. She's such an asshole lawyer in that fucking movie. I wouldn't punch her.
Well, then she's doing her.
Isn't that her point though? Isn't that like the point of her
doesn't
role?
mean she's bad.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I'll fucking like her though. I'm not saying she's a bad actress.
She's great
doing
in
her job, dude.
I'm not saying she's a bad actress. I just hate her, bro. I'm not saying she's a bad actress in Last Jedi either. She showed up on set and she read her lines, but that's it. You know?
Okay.
Fucking hate her, man.
I was literally, I was waiting. I was waiting for Holdo to like turn on them. I thought she was like working for Kylo Ren because she kept pushing them like all like the stupid like plans for like how to escape or whatever. I haven't seen that movie in a hot minute, so I'm like probably forgetting stuff about it.
What does the Yoda scene contribute other than look, we made it a puppet again? I'm like, the audiences can't tell the difference. Who cares?
I think the Yoda scene is really solid.
No, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's like probably one of the only good scenes.
I don't think it does anything for the movie. It's like good.
No, the failure lesson's pretty good. That's solid. I do like that.
Yeah,
that's like my favorite scene in the whole movie.
Yeah, I think that is a pretty good scene, actually. Yeah. I also hot take. I don't give a fuck about Snoke. I'm glad they fucking killed his ass. I don't give a shit.
I don't even
the
know
real.
I agree.
Like Kylo Ren should be the main villain. I don't care.
That guy.
Yep. I really don't give a fuck. I don't know why people hyper fixated on that. But whatever.
Oh boy.
When,
anyways,
when they announced when they announced the sequels, I was like, and that like all the OGs were coming back, I was like, I don't care what happens as long as we get one scene with Han, Luke, and Leia all together again, and they did not deliver. That's why it was almost therapeutic to watch the holiday special because I got to see them because I didn't watch the holiday special for the first time until a couple years ago, and just like seeing them all together was like, oh my gosh, this is what I wanted from the sequels. I just wanted like one scene, and then just like because I grew up on Star Wars and like playing with the action figures, and we played like Luke, like Han and Leia were married and they lived happily ever after, and they were divorced. They're my favorite like fictional couple like ever, and that was a knife to the heart, man. That they're divorced. That is not fair.
Yeah.
Han and Leia forever.
My parents divorced like a year later too, so it was just fucked at that point, bro.
Yikes.
Life imitates art. Yeah.
Oh, I need to go ahead and steal the spotlight for a second, guys, because I was not there for this episode.
Go ahead.
We've briefly talked about this tonight. A movie I fucking love to piss Dakari off with, though.
Here we go.
I'm gonna mute myself. I am going to mute myself.
Okay,
I will
bro.
give Max the platform to not cook.
Okay.
I hate it, dude. I hate Dune Part 2. Hottest take, I think, this whole fucking episode. People love this shit, and I don't fucking get it. I don't get it whatsoever. I think it's visually a gorgeous movie. I couldn't give a fuck less, bro. Get this man away from a script. Get this man away from a camera. Dennis, you did great with Blade Runner, and I love Blade Runner to death, bro. You fucking peaked. Dune Part 1, boring but passable. Dune Part 2, I fell asleep 3 different times in the theaters watching this shit.
Rival.
I don't know what the fuck people were talking about Austin Butler for in this. Dude, I saw someone on Facebook in one of the groups, man, talking about how it blows his performance of Elvis out the water. I wanted to blow their head off after hearing that right there. I was so irritated.
That's crazy. I don't get it.
I don't get why you like this thing, dude.
I don't think the characters are deep, but it's deep.
He's completely unrecognizable.
What do you mean he's unrecognizable? I fucking recognized him as soon as he walked on screen. I was like, oh, it's Austin Butler looking as a fucking pale guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
his best performance is Masters of the Air.
Nicholas Hoult in the Mad Max makeup looked more unrecognizable than Austin Butler, buddy.
Well, yeah, because
I'm not even
he actually shaved his head and shaved his eyebrows.
I'm talking about overall performance. Like, he's not the same dude. He's very psychotic in that movie, and I don't know. It's just that I don't know. I can understand why somebody would dislike Dune Parts. But I can understand why somebody would dislike Blade Runner 2049. You want to know why? Because both movies take their fucking time. Okay? Both movies take their fucking time. Both movies are paced the way they want to be paced. They tell the story the way they want to tell it. And they pull no punches. You know? It's just that Blade Runner, I don't know what it is with Blade Runner. Blade Runner but people weren't expecting for Blade Runner 2049 to be as good as it. I think that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I just want to say the Austin Butler performance in Dune Part 2 was not that great. It wasn't.
I don't want to hear that. Here we go.
He was not their Joker. His introduction scene is not that dope. Everyone fucking overhyped that. I think he was the weakest part of that movie. I like Dune Part 2. I think Dune Part 2 is a solid movie. But I think his character and his villain, it is the weak villain. He is so weak that movie. Dude. He does nothing in that movie that makes me think, oh, he is dangerous. Nothing. There's nothing in that movie that makes me think that he is unpredictable. Nothing in that movie that makes me think that he is fucking crazy. Nothing in that performance screams Joker. And I hate when I see people on TikTok say, "Oh, this is the Joker." This and like, no, dude, no. Bring that shit back down. Just calm down, dude, because your argument is flawed. Because there's the Joker. His first entrance, when he made an entrance, he made it count, and everyone understood from the very moment when he killed his own henchman that he was not to be fucked with. This guy kills 3 handicapped people. Austin Butler kills 3 handicapped people in a Coliseum. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. I'm sorry. If he took on Jason Momoa,
you weren't paying attention.
Jason Momoa hold on.
Let him
I just hear
Hold
like a whole
on.
bunch of
Hold
fucking
on.
virgins screaming.
Hold on. Let me
Let him
finish
finish.
my thought really quick. Let me finish my thought. Had he took on Jason Momoa's character from the first movie, I would have considered it to be okay. That is how you introduce a villain, because he took on a rival that was equal to him. But instead, he took on 3 handicapped people. I'm sorry. That doesn't count, dude. Fuck out of here. Okay, now I'm done.
No, I
Okay.
know. Yeah, Dakari. So, yeah, you're right. 2 of those people in the Coliseum were handicapped, but
Ooh.
one of them was purposefully not handicapped, because if you pay attention to the movie, the
No,
whole
I
scene
get
is
it.
that
But
like
that
it
third
was
dude
supposed
was
to be
decrepit
set up
and
like
old.
that. No, he was supposed to be one of the best fighters and they mention it. He's like, oh yeah, he's like one of the last surviving best fighters or whatever. And at the end, Fade Rotha makes a point of it afterwards. He confronts his uncle, the fucking Stellan Skarsgård, or whatever,
Yeah,
and
he
he's
tried to
like,
kill
"Yo,
me.
why did you?" Yeah, but the whole Anyways,
I
No,
fell
I
asleep
get
during
it.
that shit.
Not all
I
of
don't
them
think
were.
it was.
Yeah.
I don't think that. Again, if it was Jason Momoa's character,
Mhm.
it would have held more weight. That's all I'm saying.
But
See,
they're keeping strict to the book, and that didn't happen in that. But that's obviously
But
that's not a
see,
critique of the book.
right.
Mhm.
But in the
Now, I will say
introduction,
I can't read the books. The movies are more.
Wow.
Can you not read? What
I
do you
can't.
mean you can't read the book?
They are too dense.
Oh.
It's like Lord of the Rings, but you have to translate all their different fictional languages and all that other stuff. And I've been a fan of the 2000 miniseries because it was actually translatable. But go ahead.
Yeah. Nah, fuck
Okay.
that, dude.
Okay, cool. I wanted to say about Fade Rotha, like you said, when Joker's intro, when he came in to kill one of his henchmen, Fade Rotha literally did the same shit when he testing out the knife. Like,
Yeah.
this man literally kills people when he's bored.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's why people compare Fade Rotha to the Joker, because literally the Joker would do the same shit.
It's senseless
You know?
either way. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I respect your opinion. Listen. If you don't like Doom Part 2, I completely understand. It's a
I'm
slow
not.
burn sci-fi,
I said
but
my piece.
it's also
I said my piece. So
it's okay. It's a slow burn epic sci-fi, and it's not for everybody. But
I didn't say my piece
it was
yet,
very
bro.
refreshing for me in that regard. Very refreshing for me.
Fuck
Max,
that
Max,
movie.
Dakari, real quick. We are gonna have our time when we do our best films of 2024, and
Oh,
we're gonna
absolutely.
talk. We're
Yeah,
fucking
it'll-
glaze that movie.
Yeah, I can't wait to destroy
Absolutely.
that shit.
Hey,
Dude, fuck, dude.
I didn't say that I hated the movie. I
Yep,
liked
yep.
the movie.
He said it was solid. He did
I
say it
said
was
the movie
solid.
was solid. I just did not appreciate the comparison because I didn't see it. That was all.
Speaking
That's
of
okay.
I
comparisons,
thought the
bro.
movie was good, except him.
Speaking of comparisons, if I ever have to see fucking Paul Atreides compared to Anakin Skywalker again, I'm going to shoot myself. I'm so fucking sick of that, dude.
Okay,
So
let's
fucking
talk
sick.
about something else. Please.
Where do you think George Lucas got like half of his shit from?
Shut up,
Yeah,
dude. I'm sick of
exactly,
it. Okay.
exactly.
I'm fucking
on,
sick
man.
of
No
it.
Dune, no
was a
Star Wars.
No shit. Okay, cool. All right. Doesn't mean so does 2001: A Space Odyssey. Doesn't mean it's fucking fun to watch.
Oh God. Okay. Okay.
Wow.
Like,
No
Can I bring
13
up
Assassins, no New Hope.
no, I don't give a fuck. Like, okay. Doesn't mean it's
13
good.
Assassins,
Like,
You mean
you
Seven
know, hit it
Samurai?
Seven
Okay.
Samurai. Sorry.
High Noon, Forbidden Planet.
I'm not saying that some of those aren't good. I'm saying like 2001's not good. Dune's not good, man. I can't. I don't like Dune. Period. I don't like the story
Hey,
of it.
Dune is not for him, and that's okay.
You know,
Dune's not for him.
you
Don't like
sound
the Lynch film.
hater.
You know
We've
what,
been
Dune?
going at this about 4 hours now.
And you know what, bro? I'm so fucking sick of that Dune theme song. The biggest issue I have with Dune Part 2 is the fact that I didn't hear Toto when Paul was riding the sandworm. Okay, instead I get the like it's the fucking Wonder Woman theme. Okay, I'm so sick of that shit. I was seeing what was I was seeing Immaculate, the Sydney Sweeney movie, in theaters, and Dune was playing next to us, and every 5 minutes. She's this emotional scene where this woman is forced to carry this cult religion of this cult like pocket of Christianity is believing to be the next prophet, the next coming of Christ, and all I'm hearing is oh, she's crying her fucking eyes out.
That sounds like
dude.
it fits quite well, actually.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It's awful.
Given the themes of Dune, I mean, that does actually kind of tie in pretty well.
It does fit.
Chris is like, what are we talking about?
So sick of it, dude.
Dennis, we haven't heard from you in a while. What is another movie you got?
Oh, my turn. Okay, goody. Well, ignore all of Max for the past 30 minutes. What? Oh, you're great. No, what I'm about to say is this is a very niche movie franchise. I don't know, maybe some of you have seen, maybe haven't. I hate Highlander 2.
I haven't seen that.
I've always been meaning to watch
franchise, bro.
Have seen the third recut?
I love the first Highlander movie. I think it is so cheesy and corny, but I love it so much.
Okay, hold on a second. Which cut do you watch though?
I've seen both.
Which one do you prefer?
There's a third cut.
Oh hell no.
Theatrical, the director's.
I think I tried to leave.
Director's cut.
I think I watched the first director's cut more.
Okay, the second recut is way better.
Okay, maybe I've seen that. Nothing can save this fucking movie. But fucking so people don't know what Highlander is. It's just this super cheesy, corny, like there's these people called immortals and they're like attracted to each other. They have to do battle to get these superpowers and whatever. Super cheesy, super corny. I think it's a fun movie.
Ish, yeah.
Yeah. A little. It has some of my favorite actors that are like super underrated. Like it has Christopher Lambert in it, who I just love. Who has his accent, and he's supposed to be like a Scottish Highlander, which doesn't work, but it's funny. It has Clancy Brown as the main villain, who I love, Clancy Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And it has Sean Connery. Thank you for mentioning that. Sean Connery, a Scottish man, playing somebody, playing an Egyptian Spaniard who was married to a Japanese woman who now has a katana. Makes no fucking sense.
It makes no sense at all.
It's no sense, but he's having fun with it.
Somehow he married into all these different cultures. Yeah,
sure.
Did you ever see the show?
Oh, yeah, gross.
Okay, well,
you didn't like the show?
I do not like the show.
The show's a masterpiece.
Because I watch the show
on Hulu every now and again.
Because I watch the show and then I watch the movies about the show, and those make my balls tiny. I hate those fucking movies. Anyway,
even though it has better villains,
I disagree.
Made my balls tiny.
That's a good one.
So anyway, it takes place like before. Now it's like in like the 80s or whatever. And the second movie starts off saying all these immortals that you know, well, now they're aliens from the planet fucking Ziggy Wiggy.
Which was in the original script. The first one.
Yeah, but they cut it because it was stupid. And now Christopher Lambert's there and people don't like him because now for some reason people who make Highlander think it's a good like sci-fi post-apocalyptic setting, which is stupid. I don't like it. And the characters are bad. There's these annoying little fuckers on wheels with wings. Either way, they're annoying as shit. They bring back Sean Connery, who was dead, and now he's going through like New York, going through a clothing shop with like this super obvious gay stereotype, which is super not okay.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, it's just really bad. And I know this is just a niche thing because sounds like I'm one of the few people who've seen these movies. It's really bad.
Source is worse.
Never say that to me again. I hate the Source. I hate the Source.
It's
great.
True.
You know what? Correct. Highlander the Source makes me want to kill myself.
Killed all their beloved characters for no reason.
They kill everybody. They destroy the most iconic weapon of the series.
They can't have kids, but then they throw that.
They fucking they destroyed the song Queen did. Fucking
instantly, just like part
Who Wants
two.
to Live Forever?
Yeah.
It was like part two, where coincidentally, same thing, where the producers got it taken over by investors who recut it and fucked it all up.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, well.
And these characters have set rules in the universe that they follow, so that you, the viewer, can be like, okay, cool. Now I know these characters in this movie have rules they can follow, which makes them more interesting. Like, one of the main rules is, even though you're immortal and you've been around for thousands of years, you do not fight on holy ground.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, interesting.
And
So that means if they're on holy ground, guess what you can do? You can have them talk. And that's interesting.
The villain's voice is unbearable. It's like nails on a chalkboard.
It's some 9-inch nails looking motherfucker. And he...
I wouldn't go that far.
he fucking... So they disregard that rule. It's so like early 2000s super bad. Like sci-fi after they changed the logo from sci-fi to Syfy.
Oh,
the
yeah,
SYFY.
There. Yeah.
I know. I hate it. It's so... Anything past the first Highlander movie is really bad. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't like any of those.
Good. Endgame was all right. Endgame was all right. 3 was okay with Mario Van Peebles.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's my thing. I don't like any of the Highlander sequels.
Search for Vengeance anime movie. Did you see that?
No, I ignore all of them.
You would love it. You would absolutely love it.
That's what I'm trying to say is watch the first Highlander if you can. It's super cheesy and corny. It's so 80s, but it is such a fun, it is a fun popcorn movie if you take nothing seriously. And it's just the sequels are really bad.
I got one more movie I would like to talk about.
Sure.
We were talking about it earlier. I have to mention it before this video is done. This movie fucking pissed me off when it first came out. It was available to stream on Max when it came out. This movie I'm talking about is Space Jam: A New Legacy.
There it is. There we go.
Yeah,
I
dude.
thought you were going with Wonder Woman 84.
Listen, man. I had to rewatch the original Space Jam from 1996 because I haven't seen it since I was little, and I was surprised at how much it held up. Like, it holds up so well because it doesn't overstep its boundaries. It knows exactly what type of movie it is. It doesn't try to be anything else. It is an animated movie featuring Michael Jordan playing basketball with Looney Tunes characters. Okay? And it knows exactly what it is, and it doesn't go beyond that. It is a kid's movie, and that is it. Space Jam: A New Legacy literally is like a slap in the face when you compare it to the original. Because this movie not only just fucking bloats, not only is it a bloated version of the original film, but this is like a greatest hits commercial for HBO Max and Warner Brothers. Like, the product placement and the IP showcase in this movie is just embarrassing and exploitative toward the point where I was just like, what kind of fucking, this is not even a fucking movie. And then you have the fucking Algae Rhythm villain played by Don Cheadle. Poor Don Cheadle. He's such a talented filmmaker. You got him playing this fucking terrible ass villain that his name is Algae Rhythm, and he's the algorithm of this whole brand new Space Jam variant. It's not even in space. It takes place within a fucking computer, and Michael Jordan has to play against his son. It's messy. It's bloated. It's exploitative. It's one of the worst movies I've seen in my entire life. I was highly offended by it. The references, the IP properties, like, it was just nuts. It was all over the place. This is not a movie. This is not a movie. This is not how you make a movie. This is not how you make a sequel to a kid's movie. This is just fucking Warner Brothers propaganda, and I hated every single second of it.
And fuck that guy in the picture.
That movie, Space Jam: New Legacy, is the reason why we'll never see Wily versus Acme.
Yep.
Yeah, you could thank Space Jam: New Legacy for that. Fuck that movie.
Yeah,
hate that movie.
I got one more.
I
got one more, and I'll make this one quick. Skinny Marink. It is a perfect example of a short film that should have just stayed as a short fucking film. There's no reason this movie needs to be an hour and a half, dude. I'm sorry. This movie just does not work. It is not scary.
Pretentiousness. Yeah.
Thank you.
This was a first
exactly
date
what
movie.
it is. You know, I said this too in my review. Like, I felt like this dude was just like you know, I felt like he was just jerking himself off, just filming walls and shit. Like that's all he was doing, just doing that for like an hour and a half. Because if you watch the original 30-minute short that he has, that short is way more effective, and it has a punchline that is so good that it will haunt you. This one has no punchline, has a bad setup, and it was just an awful experience. Like it was. Like I fucking did not understand this movie. Like I don't get it, man. Like if you're a fan of this movie, great, you got something out of it. Cool. Me, I didn't, man, because you know what? This motherfucker just wasted my motherfucking time just showing me corners of the wall and the door and windows. Yeah, there's one scary scene with the phone, but that is it. Because it lulls you into a sense of security, and then it jump scares you, keeps you alert, and then it just lulls you back again, and it doesn't deliver what it's promising. And I fucking hate that movie with a passion, because I think it was a waste of fucking time. They said, I think Cam, you said it was a Ponzi scheme to one of my earlier movies. That's a fucking Ponzi scheme right there, and that was fucking crowdfunded.
Yeah, dude, this was a first date movie for me. I watched this shit and I hated it. God fucking awful. God fucking awful. It's not a movie almost, bro.
It's just an aesthetic. That's it. Like it's not a movie. It's just one idea stretched over way too long. And I wanted to like it. Sometimes I like my pretentious fucking shit. Whatever. I don't care. But like this really just did not do enough for me. And yeah, I agree. Like I haven't actually gotten around to watch the original short film version, but I always hear people say this is kind of what it's way better.
I highly recommend you watch it on your laptop in a dark room, because that is much more intense and much more immersive than the feature film that he doled out. Highly recommend it, because it fucking scared the fuck out of me. It's like, oh my god, and I was so excited to go see this movie after I saw that short, and then I was like, no, it worked better as a short. Sometimes a short should just stay as a short and not be a feature.
Yeah.
Lights out, anyone? Just saying.
Yeah, wait till you guys see the Goonies in Agony full feature-length film. I'm telling you. Hey, look, you guys are in for a real fucking treat.
The
Maximilian cut.
You have talent.
Yeah, fucking for real, dude. You think 30 minutes of depression in a bar is enough? Nope. 2 more hours coming, buddy.
Oh my god.
2 more fucking hours.
No, make that shit 2 hours.
You know we got to. Does anyone else have any last-minute films? We have one more person who's about to join us before we end this live.
I can do one quick one.
Go for it, Curtis.
So it's a combination of two. I really hate the live-action Disney Mulan and Lion King pretty equally.
Okay.
Yeah, those are bad. I don't hate them, but those are bad.
They're Lion King because they missed the point of what the original movie is.
I agree.
Like, the past is the past, and what you do with your future is all up to you. You can't let it define you. They just say, "Fuck that message. Kids are stupid."
And as Will was pointing out, we have all these toxic fans who are focusing their energy in the wrong area. Like, I didn't have any issue with The Little Mermaid changing its race. I have an issue with them wanting to remake every other cartoon and hiring overrated directors to do it. And it's just like, why do all these trolls, just focus on shit that doesn't matter and only illustrates what dipshits they are?
Sure.
It's just like, Disney's only remaking these movies because they're going to lose the license, like they did with, Winnie the Pooh.
Yes. So I hate that they call it the live action Lion King too, because it's not live action; it's all CG. So I hate that term in and of itself. It's the shitty one.
And you see
photorealistic.
The famous people in the voice booth. You don't see the characters they're portraying. Like look at that with Planet of the Apes, these new ones where it's all motion capture, and we believe the people are who they are, and we would never know who was playing it. There's some semi-known and some unknowns, and some people you would only know if.
And then kind of the same thing with Mulan, because I love Mulan as a kid. I think it's a great story, even though it's a little bit different from like the tales it's based off of. It has a great soundtrack. And it showed, I don't know how they did this, but like, I understand that women in cinema have not always been like written great. I get that. I feel like Mulan is like one of those where like I put her next to like Ripley from Aliens, who's just a badass lady, and she's just cool, and she happens to be a woman. Awesome.
Should have just had Ming-Na play her, even though she's too old.
And then like you start that movie with Mulan, compare from the animated movie to where like she's really struggling to like understand, like, okay, I understand men do this because they are literally way stronger than we are, and her coming to terms like doing that, and then people like being okay with her doing it, like, okay, everybody can do it. In the movie, it starts off her doing fucking monkey flips and shit. Look at me, I'm super special.
Yeah, they give her superpowers, and it completely undermines the whole point of the character, which is
exactly.
That she's an underdog.
Exactly.
Hey.
You okay there?
Hey, what's going on?
Yo, Max.
What's up,
Let me
Shimmy?
get the camera on. There I am.
Oh, nice of you to join us at the very last minute, buddy.
It's going to be a long one. Okay.
Long one, bro. We're going to end this. What are you talking?
All right. Anyway, so my films. I'll get this quick. First film.
Well, real quick. Let Curtis finish real quick. He was in the middle of his.
All right, go ahead,
spiel.
Chris. Get your thought.
So rude.
No, I'm done.
Oh, sick.
That was pretty much, I hate it. That was pretty much the point. They took the point of like telling young women, they're like, hey, you can be whatever you want to be. Now it's being like, hey, hopefully you're born being Mr. Cool at having cool powers and shit, which I think really takes away from that character. And that's just a big, I hate that shit.
Yeah, you do.
They just made it really cheap. They turned her into
it's
Star Wars.
Exactly. Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
The only Disney live action that I've really liked so far was The Jungle Book that came out a few years ago.
I've heard that one's actually that one's okay.
Awesome.
That one
was
was
awesome.
like
Then was a different point of view. The others haven't been creative at all. It's like you literally just remade every single frame.
I think the last thing I watched was like Beauty and the Beast and just wasn't good, so I haven't really watched any of them. And when The Little Mermaid was coming out, what I didn't understand was that they were like making a big deal. They were like, oh, we're making this so that she actually wants to be human for the sake of being human and not because of a man. But that was always the plot. Like Eric was like the catalyst, but she was always obsessed with being human. That was just like the final push. I'm like, you're literally like ignoring like the themes of these movies just to try to make it.
Yeah.
Like,
They just sped through it and said, I got it. But really, what was that about?
I like the Little Mermaid remake, actually. I do.
Yeah.
But
no, that's it.
Wasn't Bill Murray in the Jungle Book remake, Margaret?
yeah, he was
Blue. Yeah.
Blue.
Yeah, I need to watch that stuff.
Also, fun fact, since we're talking about Space Jam, I don't know if anyone else watches college basketball, but since Bill Murray's in Space Jam, his son is actually one of the assistant coaches for UConn, who are like the best men's basketball team, and they won back-to-back championships. So yeah, thanks Luke Murray. So the basketball legacy carried on for real.
That's what's up. Shmi, before you tell us about your films for this list, we need to respond to the chat real quick. Matt from Megapixel Production says Venom Let There Be Carnage is also ass. Not sure if anyone mentioned that. Venom Let There Be Inaccurate Portrayals, 2 Drops of Blood, and more forced comedy than a recent SNL skit. That's funny. Derek Lyons said the Star Wars Holiday Special is based. IWC sucks, I feel ya. And someone named Jada R says his range as an actor is pretty impressive, especially for his age, I feel. That was referring to Austin Butler in Dune 2. And now we got Shamim over here, the autograph king himself. Shamim, we are getting ready to end this episode, man, but tell us before we do so, a movie you hate.
Oh, it's so hard, but okay. Usually I would say the movie I hate the most is the 2017 Ireland.
The what now?
And
you say that you broke up.
The 2017 reboot of the Power Rangers. I love the original one.
Oh my god.
So good. The original one is so good with the new suits and everything. And Bryan Cranston as Zordon. Why? Any idea why? So cool. And then the other one I hate. And then the other one I hate but love is Cinderella's Revenge which just came out
It's...
May of this year. That is a
that
is a fun horror film, but it's so B film. But it's like I can't believe they use I don't know. You seen the new of horror films? They have like Blood and Honey. Now they have horror film called Fiona. Why Fiona? Like rampaging, and then they have like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, but the Revenge of the Goldilocks, and then that's that. And then the other one, I love Hated Jing All the Way. Such a good film, but so bad.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, films these days is and then I would say the sequel that my friend Thomas and Nicholas even hates this film of his own film, which is Kid in Aladdin's Palace, the sequel to Kids in King Arthur's Court.
Oh God.
And then the other film I actually hate is kind of I love that episode 1 is one of the favorite films of all time, because who doesn't like episode 1? It's like it broke new grounds when it originally came out 25 years ago, and now 25 years later everybody loves it again. Funny how 25 years later comes.
Always loved it.
I love the family.
I saw that back in 2000 and back when I was 6 years old. Ooh. And I resaw it again recently for the 25th anniversary. What version did they really use, Max? If you know, if you do know.
The CGI version.
No, I mean, which version? Is it the 2011 version, the Blu-ray version, the Disney version?
I think the Blu-ray version is the same as the 2011. Yeah.
Well, 2011 is in 3D.
Yeah, it's 3D and it's got CGI Yoda in either one.
Yeah, so my friends Richard and Cheryl Wlowski tried the D-Box version of that.
Yeah, but they added CGI Yoda in like 2006, didn't they? For the DVD?
In Phantom Menace, originally it was just a puppet, and they CGI'd him for the scene where he's walking.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying, I think they CGI'd him when Revenge of the Sith came out. Before 2011.
No, it was around, like he said, the anniversary screening, and then the Blu-ray Disney Plus version.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did on the DVD version. There's a CGI Yoda as well. Curtis, am I tripping?
I think you're right, because even the Blu-ray version I have from like years ago, it's CGI Yoda. That's the one I've seen it for like years.
Because I remember, I'm pretty sure.
Talking about the DVD version, it was always the theatrical, and they just added extra pod race scenes, and Yoda was still.
I remember CGI Yoda on the DVD.
I remember that really early before I saw it in 3D, because I saw that opening night as well.
Must be a new DVD, because I recall him being a puppet.
Yeah. Anyways, keep going back on, Shamim. We're good.
Anyway, so back to what I was saying. So the other film I hate is Hook. That's a good film. Hook with Steven Spielberg and Dustin Hoffman. Something about his Hook is unbeatable, because with Robin Williams as Peter Pan, it's an interesting take. If you guys did not know, Halloween, Nick Castle co-wrote that script.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah.
I did hear about that.
Yeah.
I call
it a lot.
I call it Robin Williams, Indiana Jones.
Yeah, and then another film I kind of enjoy and hate is Last Jedi. I don't know. With all these,
it always goes back to that.
It's awful. That's what I'm telling you. Man. Johnson can't make a good movie other than Looper and Knives Out.
Oh,
and
God.
Breaking Bad.
I don't. Pretty much.
Yeah, The Fly is the best episode of Breaking Bad. Yeah,
I don't Breaking like Bad that episode at all. Nothing gets accomplished.
That's the best why it's so good. It's the only filler episode of Breaking Bad.
Why would you want an episode to not be accomplished?
You sit with the characters, character development. You sit with them. You can take their time.
Sometimes story isn't about things like that. Sometimes it's an exploration.
Yeah, but it's also there's also like a big reveal later in that episode.
Sounded very overhyped.
So good. So good.
Walter, it's revealed that Walter
Anyways,
killed Kristen Ritter.
I think it's
Yeah, but you knew that was coming one way or the other.
Yeah, but not in that vein though, and in the way that they executed it, which is why it's like, oh, the start of the deterioration between Jesse and Walt.
Mm-hmm.
Which season was this?
3?
5?
Definitely
4?
season 3.
3.
Yeah. It was 3. Because they're in Gus's
I
life,
haven't.
right?
I haven't gotten that far in season 3 yet.
Oopsies.
Spoiler.
Well.
And then and the other film I also love-hate is Dickie Roberts, the former child star, back in 2003, with John Lovitz as David Spade's agent. Now that was funny. That is a very interesting movie that David Spade put his name to. It's funny, and how Doris Roberts was in it as well. Very interesting. How that take is very interesting. And then, forgive me, Scott, but I love this film and kind of secretly love it so much. It's so good, but so bad at the same time. Creating Rem Lazar. That is so much fun. I just love creating. If anyone has not seen Creating Rem Lazar, Max seen it on his first viewing. He enjoyed it. Didn't you, Max?
I loved Creating Rem Lazar. And I'm not just saying that because the director of that film was the guy directing your film.
So for those who have not seen it, what is the biggest, like, the memorable scenes out of the whole film, would you say?
When Rem Lazar goes up the Twin Towers. That is the quite literal Twin Towers. It's and there's a floating face that's just flying between the towers. That's a real thing. It's a very real thing.
So who is here has not seen that film or have seen it? Anyone here have seen it or have not seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen that.
Should I?
Oh boy. Boy.
And then Comic Book the Movie, a film directed by Mark Hamill. It's so much fun.
These are movies we hate, Shane, not movies we love.
Oh, okay.
Movies we love to hate also, yeah.
There, you're just plugging it. You're just talking about movies your director's done. He's done all these, man.
Yeah. And the other one, I've got like it. With me, it's like films. Like, it depends on which it is and mood, and it all changes all different kind of films. It's basically, it's like, example. There's films I dislike, films I like. It's all mixed in. For example, with Kevin Smith films, there's like a few I like. Oh, actually, there's one I dislike for Schwarzenegger. If you want to hear this one, Junior.
You got one more movie, Shane. We gotta get ready to wrap this up, dog.
Okay. The other one I would say is Junior.
Okay.
Junior's amazing. How dare you?
Oh,
with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Twins 2.0, where he's a pregnant man.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
You mentioned the 2017.
Actually, what about Last Action Hero? Now that's a good bad film.
And that's gonna be our last good bad movie for the rest of the night, guys. Because we are all exhausted, and it's about 1 in the fucking morning at this point.
Yeah.
I just have to say,
I'm good.
I just have to say, you mentioned that.
Well, hold on.
I just have to say you mentioned the 2017 Power Rangers movie, and all I have to say is the Ivan Ooze movie. That is a cinematic masterpiece. Legitimately, I love that movie. I just watched that recently for like. Yeah, I still have the McDonald's.
So which one?
I still have the McDonald's toys.
So which one is better, 95 or 2017?
Oh, 95, like no doubt. Like no doubt.
Oh,
we gotta do a Power Rangers episode.
Yeah.
Down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same age as Power Rangers. I grew up. I was watching that as an infant.
Yeah.
Like there's such like a charm to the OGs that like.
It was either that or Walker Texas Ranger.
I love Walker Texas
2017 couldn't capture like the OG Power Ranger-ness. Like, it just, yeah, I don't know. But Ivanhoe's, that is a great movie. That Power Rangers movie. I still have the McDonald's tie and toys from that era of my life.
Man, Walker Texas Ranger taught me what. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say they're literally like a couple rooms over because my nephew was playing with them the other day. Like, yes, that is a great movie. I love Power Rangers.
That's
speaking of which,
I can't say what I was going to say now. I had a terrible transition with that.
Right there.
There you go. That's what's up. But guys, it's going to go ahead and wrap it up for our discussion on movies we love to hate. Let's go ahead and get a chance to plug all of our guest stars this episode real quick. Before we go ahead and dip off, make sure you check out the new Galaxy of Film short film, Goonies and Agony, directed by yours truly. Music also done by our man Dakari over here as well. We got plenty more stuff coming soon, including the next Mayhem Pictures production. And Will, you got this film coming up, aiming for July 4 to be released. Very excited for it. Very excited.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait for that one. But stay tuned, guys, because we got some special episodes coming up soon. We got another special guest next week lined up, which will be sick. But before we go ahead and dip out yet again, Curtis, it's always an absolute pleasure getting you on, brother. Where can our listeners find you?
So they can find me over at Twitch, over at twitch.tv/Curtis Shack. That's where I'll be. I'm currently getting leveled up to go play the new Elden Ring DLC coming out soon.
Oh,
so
shit.
Going through that. And then they can find me. We haven't started yet, but we're in the final processes of getting everything all taken care of me and my friend Nick's anime/animation podcast called Code Zero Podcast, code_0 on Instagram, where we're going to be talking all things of like anime, animation, the influences it had on the West, and like what things were really like heavily borrowed from things like Dragon Ball influenced a lot of like Western like media and that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Margaret, I'm glad we got you on here for one of our live episodes. We got to get you back on the main show again soon enough. But where can our listeners find you?
On YouTube, you can find me at Margaret Corleone Blues, like Margaret, and then Corleone as in the Godfather, of course, and then Blues as in I have a problem. No. I'm sorry. So that's my YouTube channel. I'm trying to like revamp my YouTube channel. I'm just trying to, it's a mess right now. But then on Instagram, you can find me Darth Corleone Blues. That's where I post stuff about my YouTube channel, and I also post my cosplay there. But then my main Instagram is Margaret Corleone Blues, which is I post my cat and stuff, and my comedy. I post comedy stuff there, and I haven't done any like kind of promotion for my comedy stuff, but I go by Margaret Sophia, which is my middle name, for my comedy stage name. And as of right now, I just perform around like the DC, Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, East Coast area. So if any of you are in that area and would like to come see me perform, let me know. I actually just did a mic night the other week with Tony Woods, who mentored Dave Chappelle, so that was really cool.
Sweet.
If anybody ever wants to see me do comedy, let me know. I perform around Maryland, and I'm hoping to go to New York to do an open mic soon. So
that'd be fun. That'd be fun. Hell yeah.
So,
that's what's up.
I think that's it. I'm very funny. I'm a lot funnier on stage than I am.
I think it's funny.
I do a lot of raunchy movie jokes, so.
I think it's funny that we were talking before this, and you were like, "Oh, I'm a little nervous coming on the show. I haven't done a live episode before." And then you're like, "Yeah, but I also do stand-up comedy, which has to be like the scariest thing ever."
Me on stage when I do stand-up, that is like the most myself that I will ever be. It's like I don't know. I like come alive, but yes, I do a lot of raunchy Ghostbusters and Blues Brothers and 2001: A Space Odyssey jokes. And
I fucking love it.
And I should post one of my sets in the chat. So anyway, okay. Tomorrow's my cat's birthday. Well, actually today now. He's 13, so wish my cat a happy birthday.
Happy birthday! There we go as well.
Happy birthday!
Now, Johnny, I know our listeners can look forward to hearing your thoughts on Mad Max Fury Road and Furiosa Mad Max Saga this week, which I also can't wait for that to be released. Where can our listeners find you if they don't follow you already, though, brother?
You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok at Zuko's Corner. I post all my movie reviews and a bunch of bullshit shit posting on both accounts. So Please give me a follow, like, subscribe, comment, give me any engagements on any good. You can follow me on YouTube at Zuko's Corner, where I post my reactions, R&Z podcast, and streaming content as well, and as well as TVZ Studios, where I upload all my short films and documentaries where you can see them.
Very nice, bro. Very nice. Always good to get you on. Cam's glad to get you on again, too. Like I said, last time you came on was for Ferrari and Ford versus Ferrari a few months ago.
Yep.
Where can our listeners find you on your show as well, sir?
Jacked Up Review Shows on all the platforms, Spotify, Podbean, and we're getting into, much like this, we're getting into some more themed retrospects. So, like, here's some Spielberg War movie corner. Here's some satires by Spike Lee in this corner. There's Cartel movie themed trilogy by Oliver Stone. So we're exploring more of our beloved filmmakers. Some of them are going to be re-edits, but most of them will be new. And we always love exploring what makes a popular movie or show or even a comic work in another form. So we've been reviewing a lot of video game and comic book spin-offs of those properties, and those have been very interesting. which of these creators get it, and which of them are just cashing in. You're like, that was a pretty bad Terminator comic, or that was a really awesome RoboCop game.
That's awesome, dude. Glad to get you on here, bro. And you have links down below for everyone's stuff as well, too. Like I said earlier, Dakari, you got a film in the works. You're right.
Nice meeting you all.
Will, you got a film in the works that's coming out soon. Shamim, you got a film about you coming out soon. You got posters, which I have a link down below as well for our listeners to check out that can get signed. We got some great stuff coming out, guys. Only the best here at Galaxy of Film. Thank you all for watching and sticking around and hear us talk about some shitty movies that we just can't fucking stand. Maybe some good ones too along the way. You know, Will didn't like The Rise of Skywalker, but that's a masterpiece, so it's okay to be wrong now.
Awesomely bad.
That sequel trilogy as a whole is garbage.
Shut up.
Not necessarily.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoy the show, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button here on YouTube, and go ahead and make sure to support us on our Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. For all of our content, for the podcast episodes, and for our short films and video work, check out galaxyfilm.com. So thank you guys so much, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Bye, guys.
Roll Tide.
Bye.